Good morning, DJ and PK. It's 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Welcome in on a Monday morning, a weekend full of sports. So many things happening. Utah Mammoth have now lost back-to-back games. Utah Jazz actually played a little defense. I would say they actually even played a little more than a little defense. They didn't have enough scoring. They didn't have enough firepower to get the win in Toronto. That's not surprising. Toronto's better record, better team. But the Jazz hung in there. They did lose. They never trailed by 10 in the game. It was a competitive game. And they didn't have Keyonte George. He sprained his ankle, so he's out for, well, man, if I were them, I wouldn't even bring him back till after the All-Star game, but we'll see what they do. But he was out for the Toronto game. And then there was the college basketball, a very familiar story for BYU. Way to dig a big hole and then fight out of it. Well, not all the way out of it, but make the game a little interesting there in the second half. Now, Darren Peterson didn't play in the second half, so it was obviously easier to defend Kansas. They did not defend Kansas in the first half. Kansas, anytime a team gets 50 points or more in a half in college basketball, you have not defended them, and BYU did not. That was brutal. Peterson looked great. I mean, I've thought all along that his inability to stay healthy and play at the college level could end up impacting him in the draft. And I know it didn't impact Kyrie Irving, and maybe he'd get drafted number one anyway, but there wasn't an A.J. DeBonsa the year that Kyrie came out. And this year there is. And then I watched the first half of the Kansas game and thought, yeah, he'll go number one. Peterson's going to go number one. And then he cramps up and only plays 3 minutes and sits the last 17 minutes of the game. I'm like, well, maybe he won't. I guess we'll have to see what team gets the number one pick and how much he plays and how much he's able to be on the court. Because, man, there are a bunch of red flags going up with this guy. He is sitting a lot. But Kansas, you got to give it to them. That was a good win for them at home, the 1,000th game in Fog Allen Fieldhouse history. And they get the win, and now BYU has lost 3 out of 4, and they're now 1-4 against ranked teams, and they got to figure it out. They had this kind of stretch last year, and they figured it out. It came a little earlier. It was early January. This is late January, and, of course, now we're into February. We'll see if they can figure that out. We'll get to that. And then there's Utah State also. What a win. At home against San Diego State. They trailed for a big chunk of that game, but never got blown out, stayed in touch, and San Diego State could not score down the stretch, and the Aggies come back and win the game. It was a very good win for Utah State at home. And then there's the Utes. Losing at home to an Oklahoma State team that hadn't won a conference road game in 2 years, lost 15 in a row. That was a tight game for about 34 minutes. In the last 6 minutes or so, all Oklahoma State. They take over and win comfortably. Pretty disheartening. Did not expect a lot out of the Utes, but a little something. And in this case, a home game against another team in the bottom third of the league seems like a great opportunity, but it slipped away. Here's Alex Jensen, the Utes' first-year head coach, former player. Alex Jensen, after the game, after the Utes lose at home to Oklahoma State.
Disappointing game tonight. I thought we had a good week of practice, but I think we regressed. I give Steve a lot of credit. He was prepared for us tonight, but disappointing because I thought we very selfish tonight. Very selfish, and I thought we were getting better at that way, but very, very selfish individually tonight as a team.
Alex, those last 5 minutes really kind of slipped away from you. Is it because of the selfishness, or is there some other aspects of it that changed, or where are you seeing that kind of that game slipped away?
Yeah, no, too many guys are in their own world. Too many guys started the game thinking about just scoring, and we didn't pass, and then that hurts our defense. But there's also other ways to be selfish. Guys not talking, guys not being ready to shoot like that. That's a way to be selfish as well, but. We need to do a better job of like coaches don't win, and players win games, not coaches, and the players can't do it unless they do it with each other. And we have too many guys on an island thinking about what they need to do by themselves, not how they fit into the group.
So with the selfishness, and then going back to the BYU game where the team quit in the final minutes, that's now two games where there's not been great commentary after the game. Just what does it say about where your team is at, and how do you kind of reset?
No, that's a hard thing because we're at the time in the season where you have to be careful about that. But Now, again, I think we have good character guys. They haven't shown it in the last 2 games. I think that goes to the selfishness. Like, it was disappointing when we stopped playing tonight and they got that basket. And it makes you question on how much you care. Like, and that's interesting thing, and the crowd was great tonight. Unbelievable crowd. We had some alumni back, and I'm embarrassed because that was far from like a University of Utah team that's been here for decades. Like, we might lose, but we're not going to lose that way. So we'll work on it and try to find some different combinations. And
Roy had 26 points tonight. What about his game was making him tough to defend tonight? No,
we talked. We had a week. We talked about him, and again, a few of our guys, have trouble, absorbing the information. We kind of mentioned it, but I think it goes back to thinking about me and scoring and me on defense guarding my guy, not how I fit into with the other 4, because I think it was like a team effort and not recognizing him. And another way, a big way that selfish is not talking. We have multiple guys that don't talk, and that's one way to be selfish because you're in your own little world. But give Roy credit. Hard to guard, and it was the other challenge this whole week with our guys because we're not a very good defensive team, and like a lot of times it's not the scheme. You just got to guard the guy in front of you and not let him go to the basket without touching him. And I don't know a solution for that right now.
Alex, you've been able to be close a lot this season, and I know that close doesn't really help in the end, but is there something that you're learning more from the Big 12 right now for you personally that helps that, or is it really just now up to the guys needing to kind of talk and do all that stuff that you've been talking about?
No, our margin for error is small, and it's all the little things. I think that there's teams like Arizona. We're probably not going to beat Arizona. That's a really good team. We fought hard. We got back within 8. That's the disappointing thing about tonight. Oklahoma State's a good team, but like we're good enough to beat them, and it's just it's disappointing because I think everybody the locker room is a sacred place, and kids now have they have their people around them at home, and we gotta spend time together. And again, we're a team, and success as a team and individually comes from winning.
All right, there is Alex Jensen. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll hear from Jerrod Calhoun after the Aggies have won at home over San Diego State, and then the BYU postgame with Kevin Young, Richie Saunders, and Rob Wright. That's coming up next. Stay with us. Good morning, DJ and PK. It's 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Welcome in. Big weekend of college basketball. Huge games on Saturday. San Diego State comes into Logan and gets beat again. They've now lost 6 of the last 7 times to Logan. So now they've got 2 losses in conference, and so do the Aggies. So it's on, the race. And, of course, the other teams involved, New Mexico, Grand Canyon. I have to keep an eye on some of these teams and see how they hang in there and see how wide open this thing can be. But for San Diego State and for Utah State, they're building resumes that are going to get them at large berths. I mean, they're not there yet. They got to keep working on it, but it's trending in the direction that they'll go to the conference tournament playing for seeding, whereas other people could be going to the conference tournament playing for their NCAA tournament lives. New Mexico kind of sits on the bubble now. We'll see how they do. Here's Jerrod Calhoun, the head coach, after a win that had the place going berserk.
There are moments in this arena that people remember for a long time. This game, I think, is going to be one of them.
Yeah, just a hard-fought game. I got so much respect for San Diego State. To beat them 3 straight, to be 3-0, Templin and Mason, you have to be tough against these guys. Our offense was not there, but KT willed us. And when you out-rebound these guys by 15, you're a tough team and you got great character. So much respect for Dutch and their program, but we were the tougher team in the last 8 minutes.
Yeah, and that's what it was. It was 2 games, right? Yeah. I want to know what you were telling your team. Drake gets fouled. You're down by 1. He's going to go to the free throw line, and it's like We've shot 35% from the field, 13% from three-point range, and we got a chance to tie this game. What was the message in that under 8 timeout?
Yeah, I mean, just be the tougher team, quit turning it over. And we drew up some things out of timeouts that were not in the playbook. The ball screen pinned down for MJ Collins. They thought KT was going to roll. He set an unbelievable screen, by the way. KT, I've been on him about screening. And that was, I thought, one of the biggest plays of the game, that screen, things that go unnoticed. But, yeah, just be the tougher team, Spence, and don't turn the ball over. This was a game we had to win if we want to play in the NCAA tournament and want to win a league title. You have to beat these guys at home. So it doesn't get any easier at the pit.
Well, I will say, though, there's the old adage of the sixth man. You had it today with this crowd.
I want to shout out. I got a chance last night. My daughter, Kendall, we came up here. We spent about 45 minutes. There was 2 kids that had been here since Wyoming. There was 30 tents. There was about 40 other students that were out there freezing. So I called Cam Walker last night, and I said, hey, let these kids in at 9:15 instead of 9:50. Right, easy adjustment. It's freezing. We've got 2 kids. They've been out there for 3 days, and the herd declined. They kindly declined and said, "That's not who we are. We're tougher." So not only do we have the best student section, we got the toughest student section. I got a huge kick out of that before the game.
That's awesome. One thing, San Diego State credit where you guys really struggled. Fast break. I mean, we 9. I don't know how many layups we kept on the board, but you looked at it. 19-3 is what it was going into that 8-minute timeout. It ended 19-5. You end up getting the MJ Collins. But just talk about that, the struggle to finish in transition, because the opportunities were there.
Yeah, everything you talk about, we didn't do offensively. When you get to the rim, they're going to meet you. Shot fake. So when Drake finally shot fake with like 8 minutes, Manny and I chest bumped because that's all we did the whole week. And I chest bumped Drake coming into the timeout. Like, finally, somebody did what we had watched on film for 7 games. We watched 7 of their games. So it's like you're running on fumes. Like, guys, just do what we told you. But one thing they did was keep playing, keep fighting, and they fed off this crowd, and it was a huge win for us.
Well, honestly, and Spence and I were talking about that at about that 8-minute timeout. If you would have told me that MJ Collins was 0 of 10, Mason had 6 points, you turned it over 15, 16 times, we'd say you're down by 15.
Yeah, I mean, and MJ goes 3 of 14, Mace goes 3 of 7, so
but you're down 1, and you're like
6 for 21, your best 2 players.
At that point, you were 2 of like 17, and then MJ hits those. But man, talk about just being like, none of that matters, right? Not 0 for 10. It does not matter. MJ, there's no one else. It's got to be you.
Yeah, I brought him over, and I don't know if you said, I said, you 2 guys got to wake up. KT's carrying us. You're the 2 best players on this court. Step up, take the game over. Mace passed up a 3. They're just out of rhythm, and that's credit to Dutch and their group. I mean, they're long, they're athletic. It's hard to simulate what they do, but nonetheless, we get out of here with the win, and we need to take off tomorrow, and then, we got to get ready.
Yeah. You could tell B.J. Davis was creating a lot of problems defensively. He goes out of the game and then comes back in with 4, and I thought Drake doing a great job.
Yeah. Drake stepped up. I mean, Drake struggled along with Mason, MJ throughout the game, but, he did have that one big turnover, but he didn't let him affect him, and he drove right after the very next play. So when you got senior players, you got to play those guys the last 5 minutes of the game. You want to lose with your seniors and win with your seniors. EP, I thought, did a nice job. Obviously, Adlin played well. I thought Zach gave us good minutes at times. I thought he was pretty good. Gary just continues to foul. The poor kid, I just love him to death, but he just can't.
Sure, he's having a hard time staying
on the floor.
The floor. But it was committee, right? Because MJ's struggling, Mason is struggling. Elamine is so good.
Yeah, he's good.
He is so good. But, Carson and, like you said, Perryman stepped up. It was more by committee tonight.
Yeah.
And
but the defense
up.
won the game.
For sure.
Held them to 66 guys. And, they're actually – I think this is one of Dutch's best offensive teams he's had because they run so much and they're scoring the ball. The last 5 games, they're averaging 80 points a game. So to hold them to 66 when you couldn't make a shot or make a decision, that's why you won.
how much were you guys yelling when Elamine has that ball in the corner?
Don't
and
shoot.
he wants – Spencer and I were both yelling at him.
Adlin's really smart. Addy knows
I know.
the game. He knows time and score. He's, you're not a freshman anymore. You only have whatever we got left, 10 games. You're really like a sophomore now, so I wasn't worried about it. I was really just saying getting the ball to MJ.
MJ, I heard that. Get the ball to MJ so no one else is shooting the free throws.
Get it to him.
And then giving it back to Drake, and that's not an easy layup over Heidi.
Yeah,
That's a hard scoop left layup.
That was a huge play.
Huge play.
Yeah, he played well down the stretch.
Hey, nice little bro hug with you and Tommy there.
Oh, yeah, that was – hey, now we can ask. That was the only Coach, I wanted you to win maybe for other reasons, but the biggest reason – and I know you got to be careful, but
no,
hey, that was a great bro hug.
Yeah, no, Tommy Nunez. I talked to him this summer. Obviously, he made a mistake in our game, and I told the league, put him on one of our games. Get him back in the spectrum. The poor guy made a mistake. We all do things in life that we regret. It doesn't matter what stages of life. None of us are perfect. And I had been asking, why has he not done a game? Right? Mm-hmm. Like, it made no sense to me, and he's one of the better officials. So I was glad he got to come back to the spectrum, and I thought all three were good. There's always going to be questionable plays.
For sure.
The home crowd's never going to agree with any calls, but very, very hard game to officiate, but I thought it was a really good officiated game.
They did good.
You took a lot of haymakers tonight and responded with a win, and there's
tired.
a lot to
I'm going
take.
to Lanone at 5:30.
I'm going to
get a bowl
Coach.
of pasta with
good for you.
Father-in-law and wife and kids, and I'm going to relax because
that chicken Alfredo is going to taste pretty good.
I'm trained. I feel like I was running out there.
All right, there's Jerrod Calhoun after the Utah State Aggies get a win at the Spectrum in front of a typically wild home crowd. As far as BYU, well, they faced a wild crowd in Kansas. Everybody in Kansas was fired up for that game for sure. At BYU, man, I mean, what can be done about the slow starts? They always fall behind. It's so predictable. The question is, how far are they going to fall behind, and how long are they going to be behind for? And they were able to dig a pretty good hole and stay behind the whole game. And they closed. Of course, with Peterson on the bench, it was a little easier to defend Kansas, obviously. They closed, but they never really got over the hump. Didn't make it as interesting as they made the Arizona game. Of course, that one was at home, and this one was not. So after the game, here's head coach Kevin Young, along with Richie Saunders, who went off. My gosh, he was hitting shots from everywhere. The rally they did make was thanks to him hitting a bunch of ridiculous three-pointers. And then also Rob Wright. Here they are.
Kevin, I guess the obvious question is first half, again, struggles. You've seen it many times this year. Can you put a finger on what's going on there?
Most of our struggles in the first half have been execution related. I didn't think that was the case tonight. It's hard to overcome 9 of 12 from three. You have to give Bryson a lot of credit. I think he hadn't made too many threes on the year, and we were going to make him prove it, which he did, and we adjusted. Excuse me, but it wasn't just him. I mean, like I said, as a team, they go 9 of 12 from three. So, and we were what were we? Like 4 of 16, I think. So, I mean, I've examined it 8 different ways to the moon and back, and at the end of the day, it's shot making. We're shooting a three at a much higher clip in the second half than we are the first, and that's something that you really can't necessarily fix. It's more about just trying to make sure you're executing, which I thought tonight we did for the most part in the first half. But like I said, the shot making out of them was remarkable.
Yeah, please raise your hand so they can bring you a microphone.
Kevin, what were your thoughts on how AJ played in this game with all the outside noise of this game? How do you think AJ played in this one?
I thought he was okay. I thought he was holding the ball a little too much in the first half. I thought it was a little bit better in the second half. He was driving, getting to his spots, either for some of those turnarounds, or I thought he did a good job of kicking the basketball out. But I'm not crying over spilled milk, but I mean, the guy leads the country pretty much in fouls drawn. He got to the line 4 times, and I thought there was plenty of times where he could have been fouled that they missed, and that's life. You got to keep playing. But all in all, it was I thought a game for him that he handled well relative to like all the outside noise.
Kevin, what was your message to the guys at halftime?
More offensively, I thought we were holding the ball way too much. I thought Rob did a great job in the second half of, driving, kicking, open things up for Richie. And so that's the blueprint, right? I mean, if I see one more analytic about how we're the best offensive second half team in the country, I'm going to throw up. So it's like we got to make sure that we're doing everything in our power individually and collectively to generate good offense in first halves of ball games. It's just hard to dig yourself a hole.
Kevin, how concerned are you with this team that in terms of missing out on these opportunities to kind of get a signature win for this team, just the missed opportunity here?
Not worried. I mean, that's the beauty, the blessing and the curse of being in this league. It feels like every night, for the most part, is a night where you have an opportunity to get a big win. And look. We just try to focus on what's in front of us. That's kind of been my message to the guys ever since I've gotten here. But we're a battle-tested group. We're a couple shots away, from being able to have some of those. And for me, that just gets more fire in the belly to get it right.
Coach, you guys have a pretty raucous environment at home. Does something like that help coming into an arena like this, an environment like this?
It does, yeah. I mean, and this was awesome, like great environment. Give all the fans credit and the community and so forth. My first time being here. Did you play here last year? No. Richie played here last year, so he's experienced it. But it does actually give me a lot of just confidence for our guys. It's not like it's the first time they've played in a loud arena. And, I'd put ours venue and their venue up there with any venues in the country.
Kevin, so much was made about AJ and Peterson coming into this game. How did you think the two of those guys handled it, at least while Peterson was out there?
Well, number one, I thought Richie Saunders was the best player on the floor. If someone can find a tougher competitor in the country, I'm all ears. I thought he played unbelievable. Now, as it relates to those two players, very talented, both of them. Darren is just when it comes off his hand, you think it's going in every time, which is obviously a great. I think that's what makes him great, and then obviously the athleticism and so forth. And they're different players. I thought AJ, demonstrated the things that he could do as well at a high level. But it's kind of a flavor type deal. Which one do you want? You want chocolate ice cream, or do you want cookies and cream? I think that when it's all said and done, that's kind of where it will net out. But both fantastic players.
Can we direct the questions to student athletes, please?
Richie, how would you describe that outing among the many games you've played in your career?
First and foremost, tough coming up short, right? I love playing in big games, and anytime I get the opportunity to play what I love, I'm grateful. Lots that we need to improve on, and we will, and I'm excited to continue to move forward. I've been in this position many times throughout my career, and I know the flip side of what's waiting for us.
Richie, what was the mood at halftime? And when you were making that comeback and hitting all those threes, were you very, very confident that you guys were going to battle back and win?
Yeah, we've been in this position many times. We've been down big numbers at half before, and we've come back and won. So I know we were all locked in and ready to get a win, and we're excited to move forward.
Rob, does having played in this conference and played against Bill Self last year at Baylor, does that help you at all coming into a game like this, to expect a little bit more?
I think it does, but, when you start off the game like that, like Coach said, it's just hard to dig yourself back on the road. So you just got to find a better way to start.
Two more questions.
Was the AJ Darren storyline coming into this one? How motivated were you guys to kind of play well for AJ in this one?
Like you said earlier, we was just motivated to get a win on the road. We wasn't really too worried about the storylines.
Rob, just what would you attribute to the issue with the slow starts for this team as of late?
I'm not really sure. I guess we got to just figure it out.
All right, there are the Cougars, Richie Saunders, Rob Wright, and Kevin Young after BYU loses at Kansas. We'll take a break. We'll come back. We will shift our attention to the professional athletes, to the NBA, the Jazz in Toronto, and the Utah Mammoth getting beat at home. And we'll do that next. Stay with us. Good morning, DJ and PK. Don't miss your chance to win big every week on the KSL Sports Zone. This week, win tickets to see Brian Reagan at the Delta Center on Saturday, February 14th. Get your tickets today at SeatGeek.com and listen to KSL Sports Zone all day Wednesday for your chance to win. The Jazz had a chance to win in Toronto because they defended. They were in this game, never trailed by double digits, always hanging around, but ultimately Toronto gets the win 107-100. Here is the best of the Jazz postgame show.
Your Jazz recap here on DJ and PK 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Jake Scott with you. The Jazz come up short against the Raptors last night, 107-100. Lauri Markkanen had his best game since returning from illness, 27 points for Lauri, 9 of 22 shooting. He also grabbed 11 rebounds. Isaiah Collier stepped into the starting lineup with Keyonte George not playing because of his rolled ankle. What a night for Isaiah, 19 points. 5 of 8 shooting, went to the line 10 times, made 8 of those, dished out 7 assists as well, but the Jazz came up a little bit short. The Raptors getting a nice night from R.J. Barrett with 21. Brandon Ingram added 19. Let's get to the postgame sound and start things off with Jazz head coach Will Hardy.
I told the guys that if we play that hard and compete that way defensively every night, everything will feel different and the results will be different. Ultimately tonight, turnovers did us in, 24 of them for 26 points. A lot of good intent to move the ball, just some unforced errors, a couple too many that were bobbled. Got a little loose with our dribble in different moments, but ultimately I'm really proud of our team for how they competed tonight. I think, those things show strides of growth. I thought defensively the guys did a really good job communicating. I thought our physicality was way better. We only allowed 36 points in the paint, and that's a tough physical team we played. So a lot of growth on the defensive side. Got to do a better job taking care of the ball.
What else impressed you defensively, especially with a matchup like this with a team who runs the way they do?
Yeah, I felt like, in the half court, we did a really good job guarding them. In the first half, I think it was roughly half their points were in the first 6 seconds of the shot clock. Like, they do a great job of pushing it and putting a lot of pressure on your defense early in the clock. But, we need to improve defensively in all facets. So for us to have a step taken, in the right direction in the half court, I think that signals, a lot of the hard work starting to pay off. But we need to do it more consistently.
What about, I know we talked about Isaiah pregame too, but his performance tonight and also just getting to the line, 10 free throw attempts, especially now where Keyonte's out? Yeah,
I thought Zay picked his spots really well. It didn't feel like he was forcing anything tonight. He continues to do a great job one-on-one of, picking a hip and getting low and being really physical, playing off 2 feet. I think since Zay has really been able to adopt that 2-foot mentality in the paint. His decision-making has gotten better. His turnovers have gone down. His finishing has improved. I think it's been a big breakthrough for him.
Coach Jay, you mentioned the Raptors just scored 36 points in the paint. What did you see from Jusuf Nurkic and Lauri Markkanen protecting the paint?
Yeah, those two guys did a good job, but for us, it takes everybody for us to protect the paint. We don't have one person that we're going to rely on to erase everybody else's mistakes. I think Nurk had some really good moments. He had 3 block shots. Lauri's size and athleticism stands out in different moments. But for us to protect the paint, it takes, all levels of the defense to be good. We need to guard the ball better on the perimeter, switch physically, continue to communicate. So, it's about the group, not just those two.
Yeah, well, you're showcasing this season like great glimpses of what you can become in the near future, and related to that, Lauri Markkanen has not been named an All-Star. I know that at the end of the day it's about the team, but do you think that him not being an All-Star is kind of unfair to Utah and to him?
Well, I think Lauri's an All-Star level player. I think there's a lot of decisions as it relates to who gets promoted and who doesn't that don't make sense to me.
That is Jazz head coach Will Hardy. Let's now move to the players and hear from Cody Williams.
Really 2 possessions for a lot of the third and the fourth quarter. What do you think it came down to have the Raptors come out on top?
I think a big part of it was just turnovers. We had 24. I think they scored 26 off our turnovers. So that's really what it came down to. I feel like we were good enough offensively and like we communicated and played hard enough on defense to win. So I think just turnovers kind of bit us in the butt.
Coach kind of mentioned that you guys took a step in the right direction defensively. What do you think, or where do you think that came from when it came to facing this team who plays really well in transition and just what you guys did in the half court against them too?
I think it just took time and, just more film. I think kind of the more film we watch, we kind of understand, the effort and the level of intensity we kind of have to play with on the defensive end. So I feel like tonight we did a really good job of kind of locking into the schemes and communicating, and then I feel like it kind of showed.
I know you take a lot of pride on that end of the court too. How do you feel like that just keeps continuing to build confidence for you this season?
Yeah, I just feel like especially defense is one of those things where if you're not getting it going offensively, that's something that can really, kickstart your game. For me, I know that's my way on the floor, and that's kind of what I've been building off of, and it kind of gets me going offensively as well. So I feel like just, being aggressive on the defensive end, it kind of just pulls everything together.
I know they have you watch certain highlights for cutting and slashing and things of that sort. Is there anyone you watch highlights of defensively that you take notes of?
Defensively, I really watch a lot of guys, just bits and pieces. Like I know I watch a lot of Lou Dort. Let me see who else I watch. Who did I just watch last game? Gary Payton. I watched him a lot because he's guarding fives. Gary Payton Jr. Well, there's like a bunch of guys. It's like a different dude every game, but it's really just like bits and pieces, like how they use their feet, how they steer. And I watched Alex Caruso to see how he uses his hands, especially like in the low post. So, just picking bits and pieces of every great defender.
And then next game up against the Pacers, have you taken a look at that team yet and what that matchup might look like for you guys?
I haven't looked at it, but watched them in the finals a lot and watched them this year. Just know they're a fast team. They really get up and down and push the pace. They're a physical team, so just have to be ready to match that intensity.
That's Cody Williams, had 10 points last night in 20 minutes, 4 of 5 shooting for Cody. Let's now move on and hear from Isaiah Collier.
I had to step up, be the point guard, for the team, starting point guard. So, that's a, big shoes to fill going to this game. But, I feel like, I'm capable of it. So, it was just coming in and getting the team involved. I think we gave up, a couple of rebounds down the stretch as a team that hurt us. So, we was in the game, for the most part, the whole game. So, got to learn from those little mistakes and, learn from it, honestly, yeah.
In what ways have you seen progress defensively, especially tonight?
Just staying locked in on defense. That's the little things like that. Being in the stands. I think me, Woes, Will, we all, talk about that all day. So, it's extremely important for me. For my career, it's just to guard basketball and, play on both ends of the floor.
You had 10 free throw attempts tonight. Do you feel like you were attacking the paint any differently than you normally do, or how do you feel like you were able to get to the line?
More so just reading the defender, honestly. I think I was doing that the whole game. So, if you just open up his feet, to use my quickness to advantage and, try to get downhill.
How much more are those reads coming along at this point in your career from either watching film or just the reps?
A little bit of both. I think that's what, makes the game a lot easier. I think that's why the greats are the greats. They just read little things like that, and then as soon as you mess up, it's a bucket. So, little things like that, I try to use to my advantage. A lot of film, a lot of reps. So, I like to see it pay off a little bit, and like to see the progress. Thank you.
There's Isaiah Collier, 19 points, 7 assists. Got the start in place of Keyonte George, that 19 points season high for Isaiah. Up next, the Jazz take on Indianapolis coming up tomorrow night in Indy. That game will tip off at 5 o'clock. Pregame coverage begins at 4.
There's the best of the Jazz postgame show. Now, the Utah Mammoth, who've been flying, have been red hot, have now lost back-to-back games. They were beaten at home Saturday night. Let's get to the best of the Mammoth postgame show.
DJ and PK, the Utah Mammoth finished the month of January at 10-4-1 as they fell 3-2 to the Dallas Stars on Saturday night at the Delta Center in their return home. Utah going to host Vancouver tonight at 7:30. We'll have it for you right here on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone at 6:30. And then Utah hosts Detroit on Wednesday to go into the Olympic break. But for the Mammoth, a couple penalties in that first period, both for delay of game, both led to power play goals by Dallas. And before you knew it, it was 2-0, 7 minutes and 42 seconds into the first period against the Dallas Stars, second best power play in the NHL that entered Saturday night with 7 power play goals in their last 7 games. So an early deficit for the Mammoth. But Kyler Yamamoto and J.J. Peterka would provide the offense for Utah in this one. Yamamoto made it 2-1 less than 3 minutes after the Mammoth fell behind 2-0.
The Stars have hit a couple posts. Peterka back for Yamamoto. He shoots and scores! Hello, Moto! Mammoth on the board. And Kyler Yamamoto stays sizzling hot.
Dallas challenged that goal for goaltender interference by Barrett Hayton. After a semi-long review, the call on the ice stood. It was a good goal. Utah went on the power play, trying to tie things up after the delay of game for a failed challenge by Dallas. Couldn't do it there. And then a knee-to-knee hit, or a leg-to-leg hit by Mikko Rantanen on Brandon Tanev. And looked like it might be enough for a 5-minute major, but it was ruled a 2-minute minor on the ice. Another power play for Utah, trying to tie it, unable to do so. So late in the first period, it's Dallas 2 with 2 for 2 on the power play, Utah 1 with 0 for 2 on the power play. That would prove to be the difference in the game. Stars added one late in the first. It was 3-1. It'd stay a 3-1 game until the third period when Yamamoto would get another for the Mammoth.
J.J. Peterka in front. Yamamoto scores! How hot is Kyler Yamamoto? Mammoth back within 1. 13-19 to go in the third. It's his 4th goal in 2 games. He's got both for the Mountain Blue tonight.
So 3-2 there. That's how the game would end, as Utah would be unable to get a goal with an extra attacker for the second straight game. So Utah, in their last 4 games, has played 3 of the top 5 teams in the NHL in Tampa Bay, Carolina, and now Dallas, as they go from the 4th best team in Carolina on Thursday, the 5th best team in the Dallas Stars, who wins their 4th straight game on Saturday night at the Delta Center. That after Utah beat them 2-1 in Salt Lake City on January 15th. The two teams have played 3 straight 1-goal games to start the season series. Let's hear from Kyler Yamamoto after he picked up his 2nd straight 2-goal game. The first player this year for the Mammoth to get 2 straight 2-goal games, and the first in Dylan Guenther to get 2 goals in 2 straight games since he did it the first 2 games in franchise history. Here's Kyler after the contest.
Let's start with your performance. Obviously, 2 goals in back-to-back games. Can you just walk me through maybe some of the confidence, but also what's allowing you to play that way?
Yeah. I think just getting back in the lineup, obviously is a huge compliment. I haven't played too many games this year, but no, obviously playing with JJ and Hates, they're amazing players too. They make plays with the best of them, so very easy to read off and kind of stuff like that. And JJ and they were both finding me.
Talked to your coach in the first period, and execution was kind of the comment about not having as much. Do you feel like that was the case throughout the game, or where were the waves of come and go?
I thought in the first we could have been definitely a little bit better. Obviously had to limit our penalties, but I thought in the second and third, I thought we didn't dominate, but I thought we were all over them, to say the least. But yeah.
What do you guys need to see from this game, take into the next game, and improve on?
I think when we played in the second and third, I thought we were all over them. Getting pucks in deep, making it hard on their hardest player, their best players on their defense, and kind of little things like that.
What made it difficult to enter their zone?
They got a lot of good players. They got a good structure. It seems when they go tic-tac-toe, we try to break it out. They always got somebody in their face. So I think that was very difficult tonight.
Back-to-back 2-goal games for yourself and a really good stretch over these last bunch of games. What's going different for you in these games?
Not too sure. The big pucks are going in the net, I think. But yeah, that's about it.
What are you proving about your game right now?
That I belong here. That I can play with these guys and stuff like that. But taking it day by day and trying to play the best hockey I can right now.
How challenging is it when you give up 2 power play goals, to the Stars early in the first period, trying to get back into it?
I think giving up 2 goals anytime in a game, is tough. So obviously early in the game to battle back from that, it's definitely tough. But I thought the guys showed a lot of heart. We were that close to coming back, but obviously fell a little short. But it's definitely tough.
Thanks, James.
Thank you.
Both Yamamoto goals assisted by J.J. Peterka as Yamamoto joined Peterka and Barrett Hayton on Utah's second line in the contest as Dylan Gunther returned to the lineup for the Mammoth and went with Jack McBain and Michael Carcone as he'd been playing with before missing 2 games due to injury, and Daniil Boot went down with Kevin Stenlund and Brandon Tanev. Let's hear what J.J. Peterka said after the contest as he recorded another multiple-point game for Utah.
Obviously, the first period, not the way you guys wanted to start. Moving into the game, did you guys find your legs? Where did it feel like it was getting a little bit cleaner or more execution?
That's a good question. I feel like throughout the whole game, they made really good plays. They put a lot of pressure on us, especially like these zone draws for us. We had troubles kind of executing, getting out of the zone, so gotta give them credit for that.
5-on-5 play is going well, and special teams is not what you guys are looking to have. Where do you guys reset or redo the drawing board in special teams?
Well, I think watching video tomorrow, kind of like seeing what was wrong, and I think just kind of refocus, moving on.
You had the primary assist on both of Yamamoto's goals. What did you like out of him joining your line tonight?
He's getting open a lot. Just popping in the slot, finding his soft spots, making it easy for Hayes and me to find him.
What does he do away from the puck that makes him a good player?
Well, like I said, I think really smart player that moves in those free ice areas, kind of gets loose there with perfect timing that when he's open, he can get the puck there. Where's the team's confidence level in terms of the power play right now? Well, I think we had good stretches right now, kind of struggling. I think we got to go back to just making easy plays, getting more shots on net, maybe scoring 1 or 2 greasy goals, and then just moving on from there. I feel like you guys are shooting enough? Definitely not. I think, like I said, we're just trying to make the perfect play right now. So, like I said, I think just getting more pucks to the net and kind of like working it in.
Head coach Andre Tourney didn't think his team was great in the contest, but they still found a way to have a chance to tie it on a shot in the third period, just was unable to do so. Here's what Bear said after the contest.
I don't think we have much today, to be honest. I think Dallas played a hell of a game. Let's start by that. I think they arrived, they were ready. They played a really good game, especially defensively. It was really tough for us to create any kind of offense, to have any space on the ice, to win races and stuff. They played really well. But I thought it took too long for us to get in the game and to get to our game and to play with some kind of a pace. So we could not really establish that. JJ, Yami, and Aids played a hell of a game. I think they were our 3 best player. They played really good. And obviously our special team has to be better. It has to give us a chance to win. We'll win the 5-on-5 game 2-1, even if we didn't play well. Then play the way we played in the last almost 2 months, but we still won the 5-on-5 game 2-1. Our special team has to step up, especially in those games. You will not always play your A game. Sometimes you have a B game. Your special team needs to bail you out, and didn't happen.
Besides the 2 goals, what was the Hayden line doing so well to find each other and be so impactful tonight?
Well, I think they work really, really hard, and they simplified their game. I don't think they did anything complicated. A big topic for us in the last month or so is to play the games in front of you. There's some night there's play to be made. There's some other night there's no play to be made. There were nothing tonight. There were no seam or possession, easy possession. They played really well. So in those situations, you need to go with broken play, with quick attack from the forecheck, or shot volume and bodies of the net. And we had a little bit of stubbornness in ourselves tonight of trying to play a game we wanted to play instead to play the games that was in front of us. And again, I'm not blaming our guys in the sense of Dallas played a hell of a game. They didn't give us anything. But we need to learn on those nights where maybe you don't have your A game, you don't have your execution, and the opponent played well. We need to find a way to simplify and get the dirty goals.
What's the mentality on the bench when, in the first period, like really early, puck flies over the glass? It's nobody's fault, but it's a mistake and it happens, and then the second one happens after you get scored on the first time. Like, what's the mentality on the bench after you're down 2-0 early after a couple mistakes?
We didn't play well from the beginning in terms of we're not skating. If you look at those two pucks, we have time and space. So why we're not moving our feet and playing with pace and stuff like that. So that just kind of illustrate our start. and even on the PK, we're playing well. They have 3 shot, 2 goal. On the first 2 power play. So it's not like it was a shooting gallery and they had a lot of opportunity. They're really good at the way they score. That's the way they score. They get tip and stick on rebound and stuff like that. We knew it, but they're the second best power play in the league for a reason, and we need to stay out of the box by any way, shape, or form. We need to find a way.
What are the confidence levels in terms of the power play? Do you feel like the guys go out there feeling like they can score?
Not enough. There's no doubt about it. I don't think we have any swagger right now. I don't think we have any kind of execution. And, at some point, that league, if you feel sorry for yourself, everybody will step on your throat, and nobody will let you get back up. So there's no feel sorry for yourself. You're the best player of the team. You have an opportunity to be a difference maker, and you need to do it. And you need to hone your confidence, and you need to hone your play. And we need to be better in those situations. And I think there's a lot to be thought, to be brainstormed maybe about that. But we need to find a way, because our 5-on-5 game is top 5 in the league. And right now we're fighting for our life. We need to get our special situation up to par.
How'd you like how Veggie responded after that first period? 3 goals on 9 shots to holding him out for the rest of the game.
He was solid after. I think. Well, we were better as a team as well after. That was not a. I think he made a key save in the third, which at that time kept us in the game and give us a chance to hope to tie the game. So that was really a key moment.
We know how highly you speak of Kyler, but when he's able to play on 4 different lines in 5 games, what does he do to elevate each line when he does join kind of late?
Yeah, he works. His IQ is really high. He plays with pace, and I think for me, and that's a discussion I have with him a lot, when he keeps his game simple and he keeps his game forward, he's able to play at this pace not everybody can. And when I say not everybody, in our team and the other team, he can generate play at a speed some people cannot think at that fast enough for that. So that's where he separates himself. So for me, when you keep it simple and keep it really fast, that's how he's the most effective.
Thanks, Coach. Thanks, Edor.
It was a good game from Karel Vejmelka in goal. He stopped 29 out of 32, only allowed one 5-on-5 goal. Utah outscored Dallas in this contest by a count of 2-1, 5-on-5. We'll be talking more about loose ends from Saturday night and previewing tonight's game with Vancouver, plus top 5 stories of the week on the Monday Morning Power Play. Coming up on today's edition of Mammoth Daily. It's out wherever you get your podcasts: Apple, Spotify, Utah Mammoth YouTube page, Mammoth Plus, and SEG Plus. Mike Folta and myself with you every day for that Monday through Friday. And we're back tonight, as we said, 6:30, Hockey Night in Utah. Puck drops at 7:30 right here on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
There's the best of the Mammoth postgame show. When we come back, what is trending? The headlines are next.
It's time to get your morning started with the news you need to know. News update. This is what's trending with DJ and PK. Hashtag Utah Jazz.
if we play that hard and compete that way defensively every night, everything will feel different and the results will be different. Ultimately tonight, turnovers did us in, 24 of them for 26 points. A lot of good intent to move the ball, just some unforced errors, a couple too many that were bobbled. Got a little loose with our dribble in different moments, but ultimately I'm really proud of our team for how they competed tonight. I think those things show strides of growth. I thought defensively the guys did a really good job communicating. I thought our physicality was way better. We only allowed 36 points in the paint. That's a tough physical team we played. So a lot of growth on the defensive side. Got to do a better job taking care of the ball.
The Utah Jazz lose to the Toronto Raptors 107-100. Sandro Mamukelashvili, 20 points off the bench to lead Toronto. Markkanen at 27-11. PK, a little interest in defense. None of this 130 and 140 point nonsense.
That's why the Toronto shot 42%?
Partly, yes.
Okay.
Even when they hit the threes in the first quarter, they were hot. Shots were going in, as you like to say. The score didn't get out of hand because they weren't giving up the layups and dunks. Very limited on the old points in the paint. A little bit of staying between your man and the basket. On the other hand, gave away a few, as Will Hardy just said, gave away a few on the turnovers there.
Rats.
Yeah.
I'm proud of them.
Nah, it was one game. You want to see another 10, 20, 30 of those before the end of the season.
I don't really care what I see as long as I see L's.
Well, you got the L. You don't want the 40-point drubbings.
I'm supposed to feel good about this game?
Nah, you don't feel as bad. I don't think you feel good. It's hard to feel good in the middle of the tankathon.
Yeah.
Dropping 20 games under 500.
When they're ready to start winning. They're not, by their own acknowledgement, not ready to start winning. So just hope for a young guy to do well, and then you got something to talk about. The thing that I liked is that Ace Bailey got 5 fouls, and Hardy didn't take him out. No need to take him out. Let him foul out.
What does it matter?
He needs to be in the game as much as possible. He's 1 for 10. He sucked, but he got 11 boards. That's good. And continued to play and try to play hard. Obviously, the shot wasn't working. I think his only field goal was a dunk there in the fourth quarter. That, to me, that's what I liked most. That they didn't go sit him on the bench because you got 5 fouls, and some nerd says you're supposed to take him out when he gets 5 fouls. And there's 2 things I like. Is that watching the young guys play, and then when the great, spectacular George Rodman decides we need to review this play.
Let's review it. Why? You don't want to win the game anyway. Let it go against you.
Who is this guy? Guy's a genius, though. George Rodman, man, when they show him and he's got the iPad and he's reviewing the play. Yeah. And what was it, against the Nets? Nope. Hit him right on the wrist. Don't do it. Don't do it. The guy's got a keen eye. We got the best replay guy in the league.
Sweet. Jazz move on to Indiana now. Indiana sitting there with 13 wins. The Jazz are on 15 wins. A couple of teams near the bottom battling for the lottery position.
Achoo! I feel a cold coming on.
I know, a lot of guys. There's no way Keyonte's ankle is going to be good. Isn't he out till the All-Star break, do you think? At this point, what the heck?
Did they announce it?
No, they haven't. I just don't see the logic. They're sitting guys anyway, and he rolled his ankle, so don't play him till after the All-Star break. DJ and PK.
#NBA.
NBA All-Star reserves are announced. LeBron James picked again. That's 22 years in a row. Clippers, no representatives. They're the team in the top 10 in the West without anyone in. No Kawhi Leonard.
The top 10 in the West?
Yeah, everybody else.
It's not like the top 10 in college football.
No,
the top
really
10 in the West?
Out of 15, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, everybody else got somebody in.
What a distinction.
Nobody in the bottom 5 got anybody in. So
they should have a banner. They're top 10 in the West.
Top 10 in the West. We were in a playing game. Let us at them. Oh, there's still a chance with injuries and who knows.
Oh, I pray for them.
Yeah, something will happen. Usually does. Jamal Murray's an all-star for the first time in his career. He and Jokic will represent the Denver Nuggets.
Yeah, it's amazing that it took that long.
It really is. Games around the league. The Brooklyn Nets, who beat the Jazz on Friday, that seems a long time ago now, got blown out by Detroit 130-77. Go out there and get that L, guys. And they did. DJ and PK.
Hashtag college basketball.
Hawks up the floor. White, a lob. Lauri, a slam. There's your door slam shuts. There's your exclamation point. Kansas by 8. And then a rejection. Bryson Tiller on the other end throws it into the second row. What a finish for your Kansas Jayhawks.
Kansas beats BYU 90-82. PK, you feel like you've seen this movie before? Bad start for BYU. They get way behind. They rally, start to make it interesting, but come up short despite 33 points from Richie Saunders.
I've never seen it to this level. This is incredible. But they keep doing this. It's amazing. If I see one more analytic on it, I'm going to throw up.
Nice.
That's what our guy Kevin Young said.
Postgame, yes. One more analytic on it, and he's going to be sick. They have lost 3 of their last 4 games now. Obviously, they got a boost when Peterson went to the bench with cramps with 17 minutes left. I wonder what NBA people are thinking. On the one hand, when he plays, he's brilliant, and you can see easily why he could be the number 1 pick. Man, he was on fire, and it looked effortless. And then all of a sudden, he's sitting down for 17 minutes. He's missed half the games in the first 20 going into this game, and then he missed half of that one.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he's protecting the bankroll here.
Yep.
I mean, you want to criticize him? Criticize him, but this is what you signed up for. He's only here because there's some rule that says he has to be here.
Otherwise, he'd have been out of high school and into the NBA like Kobe and Kevin Garnett, but they didn't have the rule then, and now they do.
I think that it's clear that he and his handlers are protecting the investment.
Utah State trailed for a large portion of the game, but they rally. Look great over the final 10 minutes and win it. They beat San Diego State 71-66. So now we got a tie atop the league, as the Aztecs suffer their second loss of the year. Carson Templin leading the way, 18 points, 7 rebounds, a variety of dunks, putbacks. He had a huge game. And the Aggies, Aztecs, and Lobos are all now tied for first place at 9-2. For Utah, close game, and then last 5 or 6 minutes, Oklahoma State pulls away and wins comfortably 81-69. Cowboys hadn't won a Big 12 road game in 2 years. It's 15 straight road losses, but they control the final 5 minutes and win by 12. College hoops tonight, Weber State at Sacramento State, 8 o'clock on ESPN+. DJ and PK.
Hashtag NFL.
2 more head coaches hired in the NFL. The Rams go with Rams offensive coordinator Mike LaFleur goes to Arizona. Cardinals and Packers now have brothers coaching them. And the Seahawks offensive coordinator Clint Kubiak will be the Raiders' new head coach.
Yeah, that's the problem. No brothers were hired in this cycle.
There it is. 49ers set to hire former Falcons head coach Reem Morris as their new defensive coordinator to replace Robert Saleh, who was hired as the new head coach of the Tennessee Titans. Seahawks are going to go up for sale after Super Bowl. Which Super Bowl was this? 60. Yeah, Super Bowl 60. And don't ask me to read Roman numerals. Holy cow. Super Bowl 60. Yeah, I put it right there.
Well, then ignore it.
Okay.
After the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I didn't have the on there. I got caught. Former owner Paul Allen's estate has been running the team, led by his sister Jody, but it was stipulated in his will that the franchise would be sold like the Portland Trail Blazers, and the sale will be completed soon. Expected to be $6-7 billion, somewhere around there.
This sheet of paper is merely a suggestion.
Cool.
No one's asking you to do anything.
$7 billion. Billion.
I heard you the first time.
All right.
Did you think it was going to be $7 million?
Nope. DJ and PK.
Hashtag college football.
In an era when there is much transferring and occasionally tampering, Alabama quarterback Ty Simpson said he is absolutely content having entered the NFL draft, adding it would, quote, tarnish my legacy to have stayed in college and played for another school. Miami, Oregon, Tennessee reportedly chasing him. He said, I came there, I stayed there. Well, he's an Alabama guy.
Yeah, but you don't have a legacy.
No championships.
He's just another guy. I appreciate your loyalty, but let's not make you out to be something that you're not. What legacy do you have?
He will probably be the second quarterback picked in this draft. See where he goes. New Auburn coach Alex Golesh offered up his thoughts on tampering in the transfer portal, saying, it's been going on for a really long time. This portal era amplified it in every imaginable way. There eventually need to be guardrails on this thing. I think we all want to know the rules in which you can operate in. The truth is right now there aren't any. So you operate ethically with what you feel like is right. I'm a strong believer in the football gods finding you at some point. You got to do things the right way. Everybody says there are going to be changes in the rules. Do you see any movement to do anything? Anything on the horizon? Doesn't it seem like it's going to be this way for the foreseeable future?
Well, I think that they're changing dates of signing as they figure out what's going on and days that you can go into the portal. So there have been changes that they're looking at and deciding, okay, we're going to do this. And then they find out, well, this isn't that good of an idea, so let's move it. You know, they moved the signing date up to 1st of December and the transfer portal back and those types of things. So, yeah, I think there's been some. And apparently it's not enough for you and probably not enough for a lot of folks, including me. But they have been doing stuff as they go through it and figure out what works and what doesn't.
That part of it they've absolutely been working on, and they will probably continue with the trial and error until they end up someplace they're happy. But the tampering doesn't, nothing seems to address that. I don't know why you keep
saying tampering. That doesn't exist in your mind.
I know.
This is not junior high where everything is fair and everyone gets an equal chance. There is no tampering. So stop saying it. I mean, it's not being enforced. We've been told that 1,000 times. Okay.
Well, he says there eventually need to be guardrails on this thing. I think we all want to know the rules
tampering?
which you can operate in. Yeah, that's what he's talking about, I think.
That's what you, right. I agree. That's what you think. Yeah.
You don't think he's talking about that?
No. Because if I tamper and you tamper and then conjugate they tamper, everyone's tampering. So what's the difference?
Nobody likes it.
But you don't do something you don't like.
You do it because you have to do it, even if you don't like it.
Maybe that's your philosophy, but I'm not going to do something I don't like that I don't have to do. Why do I have to do it? I don't have to do it. If I have such standards and I think that's wrong, then I won't do it. I'm not going to lower my standard just because Joe across the street's doing it. That doesn't make any sense.
DJ and PK.
Hashtag Major League Baseball.
Dodger manager Dave Roberts said Shohei Ohtani will not pitch for Japan in the World Baseball Classic, and that it was Ohtani's decision to opt to serve just as a designated hitter in the tournament. Back to protecting the investment with Darren Peterson, right? Him pitching seems to be an iffy proposition. He's had a couple surgeries because of that. And the bat is too valuable. He's too awesome.
Well, in this thing, yeah, these 2 weeks, I guess, yeah. But there was live baseball on last night. I was in heaven.
You watched the Caribbean series?
Absolutely.
Did Mexico come back?
No.
I got tired.
Never get tired.
I did.
Take a nap beforehand to prepare.
If I had known it was going to be on, I was not up to date on my Caribbean series. I should have known about the Caribbean series.
They have it the same time every year.
The channel surfed right through it.
Did you not know the World Series was on in October? Did
No, that one I got down. That one I got down cold.
Well, spring training starts in less than 2 weeks, so now's the time.
DJ and PK.
That's Eugenio, by the way.
Eugenio.
He signed with the Reds.
So cool. 1 year, 15 mil. Yeah. DJ and PK.
Hashtag golf.
Justin Rose wins the Farmers Insurance Open by 7 strokes. 23 under. Complete domination, PK. Breaking Tiger's record.
Yeah, man, he ran away from the field.
He's 45 years old.
Yes.
Move over, LeBron.
Well, golf's a little different there.
Yeah, it is. But still, well past a golfer's prime.
I always thought it would be cool to be Justin Rose. He can move freely about the United States. Maybe, he's from, England? It might be a little different. But around here, you can. But everybody who's a golfer knows and follows golf, not who is a golfer, but follows the PGA Tour and knows who he is. But he's probably not suffocated like some of these guys are. And it just continues to play and play well and winning almost like effortlessly. I mean, right now, he's the king of La Jolla.
King of La Jolla. I was over at La Jolla. You're not from around here, are you? Many people refer to it as La Jolla, but if you want to call it La Jolla, go ahead. Knock yourself out. Tony Finau with a charge over the weekend. Ties for a 11th strong final round. He's 12 under, 11 back.
Yeah, I think he needed it. They hadn't made the cuts in the first two, and has the hole-in-one the other day, and was playing pretty well. Want to build some momentum for yourself as the season progresses.
Hole-in-one straight into the sun, no idea, except for the people up there whooping it up.
Yeah, I've had 2. One I had no idea until we got there. The other one was visible.
Was it into the sun, or was the green was uphill?
Green was elevated, yes.
Yeah,
the
so you
first
can't
one,
see it.
Right. And pin was in the back. And the second one, pin was in the front. Hole was longer, but pin was in the front. Although the funny thing on the second one, I didn't actually see it go in the hole because I saw it. I thought, oh, that's a good shot. And I did turn my head, and my wife and 2 others, they paired us up.
DJ and PK.
#NHL.
Not enough. There's no doubt about it. I don't think we have any swagger right now. I don't think we have any kind of execution. And that league, if you feel sorry for yourself, everybody will step on your throat, and nobody will let you get back up. So there's no feel sorry for yourself. You're the best player of the team. You have an opportunity to be a difference maker, and you need to do it. You need to hone your confidence, and you need to hone your play. And we need to be better in those situations.
The Utah Mammoth lose to the Dallas Stars 3-2. They give up 2 early power play goals. Lauri Yamamoto scored twice, but can't get it done, PK.
I know, it's funny they don't have any, what did he say? What was the word he used?
Swagger.
Swagger, yeah. And they just had it.
They did, but the mojo comes and goes so fast.
Yeah, and they blew that game where they allowed 14 goals in the last 5 seconds. And now the swagger's gone, and they got to get it back. I do agree with him at the pro sports level. Man, if you show any weakness, that is blood in the water for the Sharks for sure. You just can't do that. You have to be on top of your game at all times because they want to. If they have the opportunity to destroy you, and they should, that's their mission, to beat you, and also within the frame of relative sportsmanship, kick the crap out of you. Okay, that's the point.
Yeah,
because they're trying to get swagger. They're being the general. They're not a specific opponent, but yeah, everyone's trying to be it. And it is truly, every team for itself, basically. Yeah, I agree.
Dallas is good, and they are one of the top 3 teams in the West. So show weakness against a really good team. What do you expect, right?
Yeah.
And they're great on the power play, and sure enough, they went 2 for 4 on the power play, and Utah was 0 for 2, and there you go.
Tony kind of reminds me a little bit of Bruce Arians.
Yeah, I can see why you'd say that.
Older dude.
Yeah.
Blunt.
Yeah.
You don't like it? Tough.
Ask me a question, you're going to get an answer. What do I care what you think about the answer?
Yeah.
Mammoth on 60 points, tied for the last wild card now. It is a wild race, and there are multiple teams. Seattle, Anaheim, L.A., even San Jose hanging around. And the Mammoth right in the middle of all of it. Now, the Mammoth are back in action tonight. We got Vancouver coming in. This is the Not just the worst team in the West. This is the worst team in the NHL by a wide margin. 42 points, 7 points worse than anybody else. And you have them at home. Can you have a must-win in February? Because this would be it. You're down on your luck. You got the worst team in the league. You better get it done tonight. Puck drops 7:30. Don't get it done tonight. It's a big old wasted opportunity. Pre-game 6:30 here on The Zone. That's what's trending, brought to you by Shamrock Plumbing. There's no job too big or too small. Get the personal touch with Shamrock Plumbing. Coming up, Steve Cleveland's going to join us at 8 o'clock. We got the question of the day next. Stay with us.
This is JJ and Alex. I got this.
I'm starting to buy into the young group, showing progress, slowly but surely, churning its way up the tracks to a superstardom maybe in the future.
How about Ace Bailey's last 10 games? You want to see the numbers? 15 points per game, 4.4 rebounds. He's shooting 34% from three. As a rookie, I'll take that. Yeah. It's going to get better. I talked to Will Hardy, and he talked about what they're doing is trying to get Ace to do a lot of the other things because they know he's an offensive juggernaut. They're working on a lot of other things, and maybe that plus some games he's missed kept him out of the Rising Stars, which how do you not have Ace Bailey in that game? Have you not seen the dunks? Have you not seen the production? Why do you not put Ace Bailey in that Rising Stars? It's a Stars competition. These are the best players. So when you have a Rising Stars, your best young players need to be in that game. It's a joke. He's phenomenal.
Catch JJ and Alex afternoons from 3 to 7 on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
KSL Sports Zone and Beehive Meals are honoring people that impact youth sports in our communities. Nominate the youth sports volunteer for the Beehive Meals Hero of the Week at KSLSports.com/contest. And listen every Thursday afternoon to JJ and Alex for the winner. It's the Beehive Meals Hero of the Week. DJ and PK, it is time for the question of the morning. PK. BYU's bad in the first half and then rallies in the second half, only to lose again to a ranked team. How much more of this can you take?
Oh, how many more games they got? This is a great movie.
D. Ray Palmer, they are regressing.
No, they're not. They're staying the same.
Ken says 3 players does not make a team. They need more production from the other 2, or Sweet 16 will be it.
If they're fortunate to even get that far.
Have wondered that lately. Josh, BYU only has 3 players, and they rarely all have a good shooting game at the same time, and they got no bench. It's a recipe for failure.
We should have spread out that money a little bit, huh?
There's a thought.
Kansas fans, you don't chant overrated anymore. That is so outdated.
Overpaid?
Yes. Overpaid. Now you smack your...
Overpaid. Yeah, there it is. It works. Good work, maestro.
Yeah, somebody needs to get the message. You don't chant overrated. It's overpaid. That hurt. That stings more. Because nobody likes to spend money and not get their money's worth. And if they spend money and get their money's worth, they're probably okay with that. Across the board in anything. If I buy a $5 piece of food and it sucks, you hate it. But if I buy a $35 steak, and it's awesome, you love it.
Get what you pay for, pay what you get.
Yeah. So you want money well spent. Money not well spent is bitter. Even if you've got millions and billions and trillions.
Gabriel, obviously a certain someone paid a certain someone a bit too much. Pathetic and middle of the pack at this point. Definitely not acceptable for what is being paid.
Yeah, I mean, they are in 7th place.
Yep. 3 losses in conference now. 3 of the last 4.
Yeah. 3 of the last 4. They're having their slump a little early. But what's crazy is they're only slumping for half the game.
It was a little more understandable against Kansas, but the trend is there.
Well, I don't know that it is understandable given the fact that it's like the 9th time.
Well, because Peterson didn't play in the second half. I thought that gave him a chance. It made him a little easier to defend and a chance to come back.
Richie, was Saunders going to be affected by Peterson's availability? I mean, something clicks in the second half. when they're desperate, they're good. Maybe that'll pay off in the tournament because at that point, literally one loss in your season is doomed, and this group is over. DeBonsa's gone, and who the heck else? Saunders is gone. Who else knows who's going to stay? You never have any idea these days as far as what your classification athletic eligibility-wise is outside of a senior is almost pointless. I think we've gotten past seniors now that they're not seniors like Cam Rising 4 times. Some of them seem like they still get to it, but it seems like it's dwindling. So if they have that level of desperation that they've had multiple games, twice in the same week, as a matter of fact, against very good teams, that they are able to maybe muster up some different energy right from the start. That's trying to put a different / positive spin on it. I mean, Kansas with Peterson is probably a top 10, top 5 team. Arizona's like 23-0, so they speak for themselves. And there you are, late in the game, 1 possession, maybe 2 possessions. I mean, that Council hits that bizarre runner off of 1 foot. Or else, you come down and you got all the mo, you're probably scoring then, and who knows. But he hits that shot that just looked awkward, and it goes in.
Yeah. He jumped off. Usually you expect the right-hander to jump off the left foot.
Well,
he
they
jumped
go
off
up
his
with
right
both
foot.
feet.
Wrong-footed him.
They usually when you do jump shot.
You can't go up on both, yeah.
Well,
and he's running, he goes up off his right.
And he made it. Good for him. So if you want to look at, they just played 2 top 10 teams, I think, with Peterson there. Obviously, he's a difference maker that they are. And you're right there at the end after being down by 20-some points. What's it going to be with these guys? They're going to have to decide. I mean, the roster is what it is. It's not changing. And it has deficiencies, no question about it. Okay, yeah, there they are. And he's reluctant to go too deep into the bench. So that's not changing. But even with that, you're getting down big and then having these roaring comebacks. So it's there for you to be able to win these types of games. I don't think you can argue that.
Gary says they need more depth. 3 points from the bench isn't going to cut it, but more urgency at the start of the game would be nice, too.
Yeah, don't say as if it's going to be fixed, you need more depth. You're not going to have it. None of these guys that are injured are going to get healthy, and he doesn't play them anyway. That big Stanton, whatever they call him, he never plays.
He's been out injured for the last 4
But
games.
even when healthy, he doesn't play.
You're right.
So who cares? Unfortunate for him, but who cares whether he's healthy or not?
Ahmed Slidden took it any time he had away.
Yeah, so he's not playing. So his injury's irrelevant. Cause is yet to play. Unfortunately for him, he's been injured both years. I think he could help him. He's a knockdown shooter. He's a really good shooter. And the other two, Baker, he could have helped you. Pickens, I assume, but I don't know for sure because he hasn't played. Well, that's what you got. So sit and moan about it. It's not changing.
Did you think that was a shots-winning game for Kansas, especially in the first half?
Well, they were 9 for 12 from 3. Yeah.
And hitting contested. I mean, Peterson hit some very well contested shots.
Yeah, I mean, they were feeling it. That's a opposing coach's nightmare. Guys start feeling it. And they're very good to begin with, or else they wouldn't be there.
But it's a peak performance.
Surges.
Yeah, it's a peak performance.
And you got the crowd going nuts, blah, 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 blah.
They're all riled up, 1,000 games in Fog Allen Fieldhouse.
Yeah, and that's a legendary place to play. It's always...
So it might be easy to explain that one away if it weren't 3 losses in 4 games, and if we hadn't seen the poor first halves now for the, I don't know what it is, 8th, 9th, 10th time.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's happened a lot. They've come back from some of them, obviously, Clemson and others...
They came back against Arizona. They came back against Kansas.
Well, it came back to win.
They came back. TCU, they came back?
Yes, TCU is a good example.
Oh,
here it is. Phillip. It's not only ranked teams. BYU's been terrible in losing at halftime to TCU, Dayton, Miami, and Delaware. Heck, BYU's been losing.
And they came back to all 3 of them.
Yeah.
And won the game.
Those are the comeback wins, yes.
Yeah. Right. So the ability is there.
Yeah, Phillips says BYU is not regressing on the season and BYU is not improving. It's just the same old story, game after game. Play like crap for 20 minutes and play great for 20 minutes.
Well, at the same time here, Wednesday against Oklahoma State marks the halfway point of conference play. Now, obviously, it's more than that with the non-conference. But conference play, a lot of the teams are already there. The Cougars aren't. They've got one more, and then they'll be halfway. So the point being is there's time. Time is always running out. Time is always running out on everybody. But there is still time. So I'm not willing to bury them yet. My thing, and I want to ask Steve Cleveland about this, what is he, top of the hour?
Yep.
Is that I love Rob Wright as a player, but I'm getting tired of him getting in the paint and missing these shots. He's too small. And, well, maybe, but he's a good shooter to get his feet set. Maybe run the offense through Saunders. Let him do it. And because he'll have a better chance to finish. We saw that left-handed jam going down the left side. That was obviously impressive. Kid's got all sorts of ability. That was one of KY's best calls. He said before they even played a game, this kid's an NBA player. And he's right. He knows what an NBA player looks like.
Put some exclamation points on that Saturday.
Because he's been around NBA players for many, many years, so he knows. And maybe because Wright seems reluctant to dish off when he's in there, and he can get in there almost at will, but maybe change that up a little bit, and then can Saunders do it? And he's taller. He's a good 6'7", stood next to him, and maybe he can create some easier baskets that way for the team. And I'm not saying Wright is unselfish. That's not the point. The point is he gets in and
he's ending up underneath the rim with nowhere to go way too often.
And he's short, and most basketball players aren't.
And he's not going to finish over those guys. So there's a couple options. One, the guys have to be in the corner, and you got to get the ball to them for shots. We've seen that a million times. You drive in there, you get all those shot blockers, you throw it into the corner for a three. The other thing is, the old Amari Stoudemire of Phoenix Suns, Steve Nash would get in there, and he would keep his dribble. He wouldn't pick it up, and he'd spin around, and Stoudemire would come crashing down the lane. He'd flip the ball to him, and Stoudemire would get a dunk. Because for the shot blocker who's facing the point guard on the baseline, he's not going to turn around and get up in the air in time. And so, to me, whoever you want, I mean, Keita could do that, DeBonsa.
Yeah, but you're asking a Hall of Famer. You're comparing him to Steve Nash.
Yeah. Keep your dribble, turn around, find the big guy running at the hoop. There's no big guy trailing him to the hoop. They're standing watching
Well, they don't have very many big guys.
Well, guys who can dunk in traffic. Keita and DeBonsa. Well, you only have room for one guy, so make it Keita when he's in the game. Maybe Ahmed, I don't know.
Yeah, the roster has deficiencies. There's
Otherwise,
no
just keep watching him get his shot blocked.
Or missing it.
Yeah, because he's got to throw up some circus shot to get it around the shot blocker.
Yeah. So they've got to come up with that. And, Kevin Young's getting big money, and he's got all those assistants, and that's what I'm not willing to put a limit on this team just yet.
Well, they ran into a bad stretch last year, and they figured it out. Now, it was a little earlier than this year, a couple weeks earlier. So they're in a bad stretch now. Do they figure it out?
Well, they figure it out during games. They'll outscore you every second half. They're figuring it out.
Now figure out the first half.
Each individual game.
Yeah, if it were just about second half scores, their record would be a lot better. And they've still got big games with ranked teams left, so they can strange all those numbers. Yeah, Houston's a great example.
That's why I'm not ready to make any pronouncements and declare this team dead or alive or what have you. There's still 5 weeks to go in the regular season, and they can build that momentum. And then maybe when they get to the tournament, I still think they'll be in. I mean, they'll have enough wins that they'll feel that sense of desperation and urgency from the opening tip, and that allows them to go. I got the schedule memorized. You don't need to look it up.
That's not what I'm looking up.
Really, but when the other guy speaks, though, you should stay away from the computer. It shows you're listening.
I'm listening.
I know, because you're just staying away from the computer.
See? You got what you wanted. Aren't you happy?
I'm just trying to help you. And, could you imagine if your wife's talking and you're there at the computer typing away?
Yeah, I get in trouble for that all the time.
Whatever you want to look up, it can wait.
Maybe.
Okay, what couldn't wait?
They're not really getting punished. You were talking about, there's still these games to go, and there's a whole second half of the season.
Are you looking up computer rankings?
Ken Pomeroy, KenPom.com, ranked 15th, even after losing 3 out of 4.
Yeah, but
they haven't
the
fallen
losses
that
don't
far.
factor in the way they do in other sports.
Because of quad 1 losses, and they're minimized.
And it's on the road. Yeah. This is the only sport where losses, okay, but so what? You're not going to rise that much. Now, if they've gone 2-0, they would have.
Yeah.
But probably not going to happen anyway. But when you lose these games, as you say, these quad 1 spiels,
they don't really penalize you for it.
No. So I already knew that. But what difference does that make? They're going to get in the tournament. So I didn't need, no offense to my guy Ken, but I know they're going to get in the tournament.
Yeah, it's not just they're going to get in. They're going to get in with a winnable first game.
Well, there's no question. My gosh, if you pay all this money for this roster and you don't have a winnable first game,
then what are you doing?
I don't need to look up anything to know that. My eyes tell me that. That's why I have a lot more freedom in my life, because I'm not looking up stuff. I already know it. What I see, I don't need somebody else to verify what I already know.
I do, though, because you doubt me.
I doubt you?
Yes.
You're doubting yourself, then. If you need to look it up to say they should have a winnable first game, I mean, I think we can go, this is the first show of February, we could go the whole month without you saying a more bold statement. They can win a winnable first game. Get Maddie and have her cut that up, Yak, so we throw it on YouTube and Facebook and everything. DJ going out on a limb. BYU can have a winnable first game. That's awesome.
I'm saluting and winking to the camera for those who are on radio. Sorry.
That right there is shocking.
Yeah, put my feet up.
They can have a winnable first game.
Yep.
I didn't think you would be that bold this morning.
Dropped to 7th in the conference, lose 3 out of 4, not getting punished at all.
Little did I know. Here, I thought they were going to go up and get against Canisius and get worked in the first round.
Canisius. That's, wait a minute, hold on. Utah 1997 first round, yes?
I'd have to go back and check.
Van Horn didn't play, but he was on the team, right? It was his senior year.
Van Horn in Dallas. Yes, and they kept it a big secret. Bill Markroff, I never forgave him. He knew, and he didn't tell me.
Canisius, it's going down.
They're all worried about it. They just plugged Will Carlton in there, and away they went.
I could not have pulled the name Will Carlton from 1997.
Because I was a beat writer. I was there every day.
Yeah. All right, Steve Cleveland, top of the hour. More hoops with him. DJ and PK, it's 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Whirls around and down. 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone is your exclusive home of the Utah Jazz. And we want to send you to the Delta Center to see the Jazz in action. Listen every Tuesday for the Jazz Ticket Tuesday Sounder at 30 past the hour, every hour, all day long. And if you're caller number 12, you'll be on your way to an upcoming game.
Buy one, you'll get one free.
It's Jazz Ticket Tuesday, every Tuesday throughout the NBA season on your radio home for the Utah Jazz. 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
DJ and PK. PK, we got to pause here with the sports talk. A sad day this weekend as we got the news that the original Jazz Bear, Jon Absey, passed away after a battle with pancreatic cancer. We both knew him well. We both shared a lot of laughs with him. He was a wildly entertaining guy inside the suit and out. And so condolences to his wife and his kids and now his grandkid.
Yeah, not even 60 yet. My gosh.
No.
That's just awful. Pancreatic cancer really just takes you. But, what a life. What an entertainer that he was able to do and bring good times and happy smiles and faces for so many years. And we've all got stories. You know, when we first came over, we did commercials with him in the woods.
In the woods, in air quotes.
It's actually, if you ever remember where we remember that commercial that we did when we first came over, went from 1280 to 1320, and now back we're obviously 1280 97.5. The woods is when you're going on hole 18 at Bonneville, and you go to the path on the left to go around to the green on the right. Well, there's woods on your right with a stream. That's where we did that, right down below. And I always think about that
every time you play the course.
Literally, and Jon was there in his uniform, I guess, or costume, whatever you want to call it. Bear suit.
I think he was in the bear suit, and I think he wore an Aloha shirt, if I remember right.
Yeah.
That aired back when I was doing pre-half and post with Pace and Thurl, and that aired at halftime, and so it went out for people that had NBA ticket. They saw it all over the country, and I had a friend in Santa Barbara who was watching,
yeah.
who texted me immediately, "No way, you did not do that."
Yeah,
that was
the two of us, and we had jackets and ties on, I think.
Yeah. We're standing. One of us had like a Sports Illustrated or a newspaper or something.
I think I had a rolled up newspaper.
And we're standing there, like reading his way. Yeah. And then Jon's off camera, and he comes out from behind a tree and hands us a roll of toilet paper and walks off. And then one of us said to the other,
you did.
I said to you,
I just made faces. I think.
I looked at you and I go, "Well, that answers that question."
I went, huh? Yeah. As far as that goes, I had the opportunity to go to Mexico with him on the Jazz Beach Bash. And, oh, my gosh, he was a ride. The first night we get there, I went multiple, but the first night we were meeting at a basketball court, and it's dark, and everybody's there, and there's, probably 100 people there, and the workers are there, and he shimmies up the pole, goes over the backboard, brings himself through the hoop. I mean, this guy was one of the best athletes I've ever been around, and as buff as can be, and he guarded his privacy. He did not want anybody to know on that trip, that's the bear.
That was always his rule.
And I took my wife, and I told her, and we had met him, we'd ate with him and all that, because then he'd come out and he'd eat,
right?
And you'd be with him, and he didn't want anybody to know. I said, under no circumstances do you say it. He actually had a room on the other side. It's a big moon palace, huge property.
Nobody could see him
coming in and out, right?
Yeah.
And so at the end, we're at the airport coming home, and I take the bags, and we brought our golf cups, and I wait because the line snakes to go to security or to check in, and I'm at the front of it, so she's standing in line, and there's a lady talking to her because we know, okay, that's PK's wife. Yeah, I know who the bear is. I know who he is. I'm positive. And the switchback's about 3 switchbacks back. Mm-hmm. She points back. That's him. And it was Locke.
Nice.
And then he at the golf course, he comes up, we're all there, he gets in the cart, comes in, and all the workers are like going crazy. And then we had breakout dinners where jazz people were there, and I was a jazz person, and we're in one of these small restaurants on the site, and he has a confetti gun and shoots it all over. And the manager went nuts. He was hot. So all of us, me, Bojack,
scrambled to pick it up,
and our spouses, we're all on our hands and knees when the evening was over, picking up all this confetti, because they demanded that we clean the place and make it spotless like it was. And he's doing all this stuff. And those times he was there was just a blast. So obviously, may he rest. And what an entertainer he was.
Yep, he will be missed, no doubt. DJ and PK. We're coming back with Steve Cleveland next. Stay with us. DJ, PK, it's time to welcome in Steve Cleveland, former BYU basketball coach. Steve, good morning.
Morning, fellas.
Steve, why so many slow starts? The question on the lips of thousands of BYU fans. So many bad first half, so many good second halves, and if they're playing a ranked team, they don't quite get over the hump. If they're playing a team that isn't quite that good, they usually do rally and win. But why do people have to watch 10 or 15 or 20 minutes of losing basketball? What's going on?
All right, let's look at some positives here.
Okay.
So, I think I know as a coach, just having that experience for 35 years, there were nights when we got off to slow starts, and it made it very difficult. The one thing about BYU that is a positive thing is that they've come back in games that were looking like blowouts, and they've made them really meaningful games. Unfortunately, whether you lose by 1 or 31, it doesn't matter. Losing is losing. But this team has to. They've got to have better first halves. Number one, and number two, they've got to defend in times when it's really needed to get a stop. And I think, as I've watched these games, and I'm listen, I coached long enough to know that as a coach, you try a lot of different things, and you try to put yourself in a position where you can win basketball games. But I think the slow starts and then just amazing second halves. But by the time, what happens is that you've got to spend all that energy and go through that whole process, and all of a sudden you've had to get after it, and your legs, you lose a little bit of your legs. You get a situation where teams that you're playing at home or on the road, you've got to be able to be more consistent defensively, I think, and getting stops early on, not getting down big and then fighting back. And there's a lot. This team has a lot of heart, and they're competitive, but they're just putting themselves in holes that it's hard to get out of because you're playing good teams. I mean, you're playing there. They played Arizona close, a 3-point loss. They had to go to Kansas, which we'll talk about in a minute, but for a team that's 14th ranked, boy, they really looked a lot better, and Peterson was the real deal for the half that he played.
I'm wondering, is Kevin Young thinking about or actually saying the words that church leader accused you of saying after you won your first conference title when you were in high school and he called you into his office?
Do we really want to go there?
I'm reading the book.
Hey, listen, first and foremost, I'll let you know I've been to enough practices and watched Kevin and his staff. But listen, it's part of the process. And you do get angry and you do get upset. And I think the thing is that when I had issues like this when I was playing, or not when I was playing, when I was coaching, I felt like the most important thing that I could do was to be honest with them. And if it needed to be said, I said it. I'm always tried to watch my language and try to be as appropriate as I can. But sometimes it just drives you nuts when these things are happening.
It consumes you.
Yeah, and so I just think that you get your group together. I had enough team meetings when guys weren't playing well in a half, or guys hadn't been playing well for 2 or 3 weeks, that you hold the people accountable. And I can't imagine Coach Young, he'll probably start with himself and his staff, is that we need to do a better job. And number two, that, hey, you know what? If AJ's not playing well, or Saunders isn't playing well, or whoever it might be, right? You have to be honest with the guys, because your teammates, if they watch, your teammates watch the best players in a position where they're not acting accountable, or that maybe the coaching staff's not taking the time to make sure everybody knows who's accountable here, then you have problems. I don't think we have that problem. I just think it's time that, Coach Young and his staff have to make it really clear about what it takes to win close games on the road. And I was shocked how good Peterson was. And I'd seen him play a little bit, but he's been hurt so much, it's hard to see him play. And but those were deep threes. And I mean, his stroke was so good and so confident. And the fact that he didn't even play in the second half has to upset a coaching staff and a team that says he didn't even play the last 20 minutes. And that is something that I would bring the attention. And listen, Coach Young and his staff are outstanding, and I'm absolutely certain they made it very clear that we got to be better in the beginning, and we got to be definitely better at the end.
I'm curious how you see these poor starts. Is it some type of scheme thing they're not ready for? I don't think it's that, but I've wondered. To me, I think it's more an energy and focus problem, and it seems like when they get down, they really get locked in and really go. I don't know why they don't get locked in earlier. How do you see it?
I think there are two things. The coaching staff has a responsibility and a role there. They know that, and I'm sure they've talked about it. I think the other thing is, where is the leadership on this team coming from? And you hear all the naysayers out there, and I don't listen to that junk. But I think right now, it's maybe time for a players' meeting. Maybe a time that Richie Saunders, who is the heart and soul of this team and has been in this program for a long time, that he gathers the guys together without the coaches. Maybe not, they don't even know about it. I mean, I did that as a player. I remember as a coach, there were times when the leadership of that team, all of a sudden they're having their own private meeting. And it's not about pointing fingers. It's about we got to be more accountable to each other. And I don't think this is about AJ. In fact, AJ's a young player. He's doing what he needs to be doing. He had a challenging time against Arizona. He wasn't able to hit the three. I think he was 1 for 8. And but he came back, had 17, 1 and 2, but he only having 1 rebound. And so, but it can't be just about AJ. I mean, yes, I think when your best player is not performing maybe as he'd like, or the coaching staff or the players, it's really important that everybody be accountable, not just an AJ or a Keita or a Saunders, but everyone. And when you start looking at the numbers, you realize that this team, they need their own team meeting. They need to look at each other and talk to each other. And the really good teams that I coached, they were leader-led teams. And that's when you turn a corner here. And I believe that's what they will do. I think anytime you go through a time where you lose a couple of games, and hey, it's tough. I mean, I had no idea how good some of these teams were. And I think you're looking at, I think they have 6 ranked teams right now in the Big 12. And, you're playing Oklahoma State, but I went through, just looking at the numbers and looking at Oklahoma State and remembering the tradition of Oklahoma State, man, you can't look past anybody. And it's got to happen right from the beginning, because the last thing you want to do is go on a road and then all of a sudden get down 10 or 15. And it's just hard to overcome that in the second half when you're on the road. Yes, you can do it at home, but much harder to do it on the road.
I'm wondering if there's any type of strategic moves they can make. And we were discussing, Wright being able to get into the paint so easily, but being smaller. But he's a good shooter too, so he's having a hard time finishing. Maybe move him off the ball a little bit more, put the ball in Saunders' hands, and see, particularly obviously in the first half, and maybe generate some more offense there and free up Wright to take some jump shots instead of trying to score and direct the offense, because that's a heavy load on somebody to carry. Yeah, it is a heavy load. And he's asked to do a lot of things here, and he's capable of doing it. But I like your thinking there. I remember that there were times in games, in-game situations, where I would something would come to my mind and thinking, what can I do? And I'm sitting there thinking about it, and it's like, maybe taking somebody off the ball. I mean, listen, you can't look at anyone. Wright has been amazing. Yeah. And what he's done for this team. But when guys are struggling a little bit, it's not the time to point fingers. It's time to, what can we do personally? What coach can I have go work out Wright or AJ or Saunders or Boscovich, whomever it might be? I mean, I'm looking at the line there with their bench guys, and I mean, just the 3-point shooting. AJ, I think, was 1 for 3. Saunders was 3 for 7. Wright was 1 for 5. Boscovich was 1 for 4. The 3 ball is a big part of the game today, and it's been a big part of the success BYU's had. And then when you look at the Kansas game, and you got 90 to 82, but it starts with Peterson going off and making everything he shoots. But then you go back and take a look, and Richie goes 33, 10, and 2. And AJ 17, 1 and 2. But Wright, you're 3 guys that are there and being asked to do it, but there hasn't been a lot of help. There's just not much coming off the bench. Guys get in foul trouble. Maybe a guy needs a break. And so they're going to need to develop their bench. And they're going to need to work with their bench and continue to do those kinds of things, which I know this staff is going to do.
But I know as a coach, and for those that are listening that aren't coaches or watching as a fan, that you do have to do different things. And you have to maybe take a guy out of a rotation on a particular game and have him come off the bench. You got to get some confidence. These are really good coaches. I remember being a coach and trying to navigate through getting my guys to get their confidence back. But I like the idea of Richie Saunders, especially bringing his mates together in where coaches aren't involved, where managers aren't involved, and it's talk through those things. That can be so therapeutic, and it can be so good for a team. You're not going to be having team meetings, every 2 or 3 days, but make them meaningful. If it's appropriate, I always like to see my guys just, Coach, we're going to be about a half hour late. We have some things we need to talk about. And if it's Richie and if it's AJ, whoever it might be, but you're looking at guys that have had a lot of success, that can really increase the confidence of this team and get them believing and playing the way that they want to play and the way the coaches want them to play.
This won't help this year's team, but do you think for next year's schedule, the schedule year 2 was much tougher than schedule year 1, but there weren't true road games. There were a lot of neutral site games. Now, I know you got to get somebody else to agree to it, so I don't know if you try to find someone in the Big Ten, maybe Izzo would do it. He seems to get a home and home so you can really feel what it's like to go on the road. Maybe go to Utah State or New Mexico or San Diego State, places that traditionally love to boo BYU, get a hostile environment there, because these guys didn't really play true road games until they got to conference. Now, they did win the first 2 against K-State and Utah, but is that something they should look at going forward? Real road games in November and December, where possible.
Well, I think when I was putting my schedule together, we did initially early on, depending on the team, and if it was a senior-laden team, and we wouldn't do as much of this, but I always try to get 2 or 3 or 4 games in that first 11 where I could play younger players, where I could put myself in a position where I could play more players and watch and see what kind of development there was. But when you get to the second part of the early preseason, I always felt it was good to do it. And they played. I'm trying to think their schedule. I know they played UConn. What you guys?
Clemson, Villanova.
What's that schedule?
Wisconsin, Miami, Dayton. I mean, they played some teams where you're thinking, okay, this is a pretty good team, but they're mostly neutral court games. I think they played 5 neutral court games.
Yeah,
maybe 6.
And they're, I mean, I think if you're thinking as a coach, it makes things more equal. You're not playing at a home court advantage. You're playing somewhere where you have a better chance to win a neutral site game than you might on a road. Yeah. I'm talking they're playing good teams and good talent. So I'll just tell you kind of what I did. And I mean, I felt like I needed 3 or 4 games to get guys an opportunity, especially younger players new to the program. But this team right now is not a young team anymore. I mean, they've played a number of games. And I think I'll go back to the accountability of the players. And where's that leadership? I got to believe Richie is where that heart and soul of that team is. Wright is a leader. He, and I don't know anything about his personality, so I can't speak to that. I'm not at practices right now. But when you're asking me to think about guys that can have an impact on winning day in and day out, certainly Richie and AJ and Wright are the guys that you look to. But who on that staff, like Davis the other night against Arizona, had 15. That's a good number for him. I'm looking at BYU against Kansas. AJ had 17, Cade 9, Davis 2, Saunders 1 off, 6 for 14 3-pointers. Wright, the same guys, but there's not a lot of help off that first line of players. And so maybe we're developing, maybe we're spending time as coaches with individual players, helping them with the 3-ball, helping them with free throws, whatever the needs are. There's some special attention that goes to guys that maybe aren't where they need to be. And this is no time where we're berating players and doing those kinds. I'm not suggesting that at all. What I'm suggesting is I remember I got more done one-on-one with a young man that it was struggling, and there was no outside influence besides me. And then what you do is with your assistant coaches, I tell them what I've done and what I'm doing, and then let them reinforce that down the road where players feel like, oh, I'm part of this. Coach is taking special time. Hey, listen, when a head coach takes a player, and you can take any of these players here, but let's say that it's not AJ and it's not Saunders and it's not Wright. But look at a guy like Davis who goes 5 for 8 from the 3-point line against Arizona. Then you come back down here again, and he's 1 for 6 from the field goal. It's 2, 2, and 1. Well, that happens when guys play a little more time, or they're up here or down there. I just believe that accountability is the thing that you have to focus on as players. Number one, if you can get your leadership, the players themselves being a player-led team, you're always going to be better through those experiences. Yes, there are times we get upset and we get angry and we feel like maybe the effort isn't what it needs to be. Hold them accountable. I don't think the effort has been a major issue, but it is at times you watch a team that kind of goes through the motions and they get behind and then they got to fight and come back. And when you're playing in league play, you can't take anybody for granted. I mean, I'm looking at the upcoming games. They got Oklahoma State, and they're 15-6. BYU is going to be picked to win that game, but they're playing at Oklahoma State. And I remember being at Oklahoma State and going there. It's a tough place to play. And I know the coaches will prepare them for that, but these upcoming games against Oklahoma State and against Houston at home, which is obviously going to be a real beast, these are two really big games. Good news, Houston's at home, but this is a week. They sweep this week, that renews everything and gets the confidence. Maybe younger players who's going to step up and make big shots. But it's a big week, and they got to take care of business, obviously, early on, and with Oklahoma State, and that's going to be tough. But playing Houston at home is going to be every bit as tough as well. So this is an opportunity. They go 2-0 this week. Not like the world's going to end and they lose a game. But if they could sweep this game, that gives this team and the coaching staff more confidence and a more togetherness and unity than maybe what they've had in the last couple of games.
Coach, we appreciate the time as always. Thanks for joining us. We will talk to you again next week.
Great being with you guys. Have a good day.
There's Steve Cleveland, former BYU basketball coach, former Fresno State coach. We're back with more in a moment right here on The Zone. DJ and PK, it's 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. The All-Star teams are out, PK.
Yeah, all right.
No All-Star for Keyonte George and Lauri Markkanen. Did they deserve to make it? Tony says short answer, yes, but it's more about what sells tickets and gets people to watch, even if it's going to be the worst basketball ever played.
I don't think that's it.
I think it's the fact that the Utah Jazz have not won very many games this year.
I think that's it for guys like LeBron, but the Aviata kid from Portland, I don't think that's it. They've had a better season. And I would be okay with Markkanen making it on one condition.
And what is that?
That they list Lauri Markkanen in the box score and then in parentheses, rest.
Nice. Go to the All-Star game, put your feet up. Made it? Here's your bonus. Most guys have something built in, right? Here's your bonus. Now.
He's missed 14 games.
Take it easy.
He's on track. Well, when they get good, and I believe it's a when, not an if, he's going to have the freshest legs of anybody relative to his age.
I talked to Locke about that whole minutes thing. 25,000, 30,000, 35,000 minutes where you start to run down.
He sits out a lot.
He's not piling up the minutes.
Yeah. And I think for these guys, since the future is going to be good at some point here, hopefully sooner rather than later, to make sure they're at the premium condition ready to go when it is go time to win, I think they need to have lazy boys along the sidelines.
His feet up.
Yeah.
Can't get out of the way if someone comes crashing into you.
And then they have one of those people dressed in the waiter, waitress gear.
Mm-hmm.
and come and
bringing them
drink.
beverages and stuff. They come over to the big old tray and there's a Gatorade bottle on it.
Yeah. And then you see, have some vegetables, carrots and stuff. So, eating healthy. Make a mockery of it. They're sort of, not they exclusively, but the system is made a mockery of. So extend it even beyond that.
Thomas is with you. He says, honestly, Lauri's has missed too many games, and now they're taking turns playing and, quote, resting. So Thomas isn't upset by the lack of all-star berths at all.
I think the most important thing is that you can argue strongly that both of these guys, when they play, are all-star caliber. And that bodes well for the franchise. I mean, Jamal Murray didn't make it until this year.
You took the words right out of my mouth. I was going to say he's been all-star caliber for a long time, including when he was clutch when they won a championship.
Right.
And for whatever reason, didn't pick him till this year. But be all-star caliber.
That's the most important thing.
Yeah.
Whether somebody votes you or there's a popularity contest. Didn't Yao Ming was dominating every year?
Because everybody in China voted, he's in.
Yeah. Right, and he was a fine player.
Fortunately, he was a really good player when he was healthy. He had some health issues, but when he was healthy, so it didn't make a big mockery of it. But it was comical to see how many votes he got.
Right, right, and they're voting for one of their own, so be it. But I think the most important thing is that they're having outstanding seasons. Markkanen, you can argue, is having the best season. He's just, the situation is never going to allow him to be anything close to an Iron Man. Because they're going to sit him as much as because he gets in the way of losing.
I do think because you and I have talked about this both on the air and off the air. I think the interesting thing will be. I mean, I don't think he's missed all these games these last 4 years because he's injury prone and been hurt. I think it's clearly been engineered, and yet at the same time, he's never played a full season. So will his body hold up? And we've seen a lot of bigger guys have injuries. Will his body hold up to the pounding? And it'll be interesting when they're trying to win what they consider a full season because even on winning teams, guys still get rested. So I don't think they're ever going to ask him to play 82 games. I don't know if they're going to ask him to play 75.
Well, the most he ever played was his rookie year, 68.
Right. He's never been a 70-game guy.
I mean, last year was an absolute joke, 47.
Yeah. Where's he going to end up this year? Closer to 47 than 66 or 68.
Well, playing 36, that would mean 11 away. And what have they got, 30 games to go? Or 32 games?
Yeah.
They're right at the 50
right.
mark.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming he plays half of them.
So how many has he played already?
He's played 36.
Okay. So he gets to 52.
So he's missed 14 because they're right at the 50 mark.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Well, we'll see. It will be interesting to see if his body really does hold up and what they consider full-time as far as, limiting minutes in a game.
Certainly it holds up in the international competition.
Yeah.
Now, it's not the NBA,
Right.
and it's not all this travel, and it's not a slew of games for a long period
You tend
of time.
to go somewhere and then play in that city for
Yeah.
these international tournaments.
Right, and there's a bunch of games, but it's compacted.
And they're 40-minute games, not 48.
An NBA season is forever. But they're going to need him.
Yeah.
He's going to have to stop with these in the 60s. You're going to have to get in the 70s. For him to do what he's capable of doing, which is that play at an extremely high level, and for the team to get where it wants to go, he's going to have to play. And it's just going to have to. And no more of this sickness and illness and rest. And a lot of it is the situation. But my feeling is, maybe it's just more of a feeling because I don't really have much of a track record to go on, is that he's going to play in the 70s.
I hope so.
In
Because
today's world, that's about all you can ask.
75 is the new 82?
I would say 70. Yeah. And I just called up his thing, his career, and was 1920. So he goes 68 his first season, which is 17-18, and then it drops down to 51, 50, 26.
So the 51 was there was a significant injury there. That was a full season. The next 2 years weren't full seasons. They were the COVID impacted ones. And I don't think they played 82 coming out of it when they had to start the season late. I know they didn't play 82 when they went to the bubble.
Okay, but then 21-22 is back to 61.
Yes.
First season here, 66. Second season, 55. Third season, 47.
I know.
Those are full seasons.
Yep. So that comes back to the question. There were injuries early. Will there be an injury when they try to play him full time? Or is this sitting him on purpose, protected him from that because his body gets more rest because they're just naturally like, oh, we might win tonight?
I don't know. What makes him so different from the other guys when they were playing 82?
I mean, some of the other big guys do break down. I mean, some big guys do, some don't. But
yeah, but I mean, he's big in height.
I know. He's not as thick as, say, Embiid.
He's
Embiid's
not demanding the ball in the low post.
Embiid and Zion are carrying more weight. And that's more force on the joints with every, trip up and down the court.
And he's essentially a perimeter player.
They put him inside a little more, but playing inside even now doesn't mean what it used to mean. There aren't as many bodies.
And George, you'd have to think at some point the answer is going to be yes. Right now, the answer is going to be yes. He will be on an all-star team. Now, I can hear all the cynics. Sure, in 5 years, he'll be on the Eastern Conference all-star team.
They're the cynics.
But I'm not going to go down that road.
Not for 5 years. We'll see when we get there. Don't borrow trouble from the future.
Well,
it may well be out there. Who the heck knows?
I'm going to
believe... But there's no point in worrying about that now.
That Keyonte George is going to be fine here. Until I see and hear otherwise, that he's going to recognize I'm playing in a first-class organization with an excellent coach, and they're providing me with everything I need, and I'm making enormous money. And he's from Texas, right?
He is.
And so they got a guy who's around the team. I don't know if he has a formal spot, but he's from Texas. And he wanted out.
Referring to D. Will.
And so, hey, kid, come over here.
Let me explain something to you.
Yeah.
Here's how it is around the lake.
Yeah.
If you don't believe me, go talk to that guy. And then go talk to Boozer.
We're Texas guys here.
Yeah.
And so I know what you're going through because I went through it myself. And don't mess with good, man. And if you got a good thing going, and maybe I'll be proved wrong, which won't be the last time, but I'm going to freaking believe that he's going to see all things and realize this is a good spot to be in, and we're winning. And I want to be a legend for somebody. And you can, and unless you're LeBron, you can bounce around. But how many of those guys can really bounce around and be? Is Kevin Durant?
I was about to bring him up.
A legend? Is Russell Westbrook going to be a legend? Who's he going to be with? What is your identifiable team?
I think Durant is big enough to be a legend of the game, but I don't think he's a legend in any city he played in.
Right.
Which is two different things. Where when you walk into a building, the place goes wild, which we've seen with, I don't even know how many Jazz players. There's just so many. A lot of them who didn't play their whole career here.
No, I don't think you have to.
Get very warm welcomes.
But when you're going at your best, unless they don't want you, college baseball starts up in a couple of weeks, right? I think softball starts coming up a week earlier. Right? It's right around the corner. And so yesterday they had a softball game involving some Arizona State alumni.
Mm-hmm.
And they got a lot of guys in the pros, obviously. And then they had some celebs. You know who got the biggest roar?
Who?
You know.
Barry Bonds.
He wasn't there. Cam Scatterbo.
Oh, yeah, okay. I didn't know they brought back all sports for the baseball. I thought it was.
It's some celebs.
Okay.
Beyond the.
Yeah.
And so he is recovering from the surgery. He plays second base. I saw a video of him, fielded it flawlessly.
Because he's an athlete.
But he didn't run. Mm-hmm. So he'd hit, and then the guy would run. Right? Well, one time the guy didn't have to run because Scatterbo hit it over the fence.
T-ball for him.
But wouldn't you want to be that?
Have the place where you go back and they cheer you.
Yeah, forever. Forever. And you're going to go chase something that you already got?
Well, a lot of people have done it.
Does that make any sense?
It didn't it didn't to me at the time, but you also could feel like this is going to happen, Because you and I could sit here, being much older, right, and think, don't do it. This is good. And yet, multiple players.
But I believe in the sophistication of today's athlete.
There's no doubt about it. And I think that, and I've had a couple people say this to me too, they're not only more sophisticated from a business sense, they're more emotionally sophisticated than we were at that age. And
I believe it.
They're forced to grow up. The professional system gets them for sure somewhere around 12, 14, certainly by 16. But depending on who you are and how you develop, it gets you before that. So there's just a certain amount of savvy. You've been around it and been through it, and you've changed teams, and you've played for different people, and you've had to make friends with new guys on the team who you didn't know when you walked into the gym because you're changing AAU teams and you're going to international tournaments. Yeah, it's a different deal.
That's why amid all the constant losing and the multiple year constant losing, I think there's a foundation. To what degree can be competitive remains to be seen. But I think they already have a foundation that allows them to be plus 500. And I'm one of these guys.
So now I hear Tim Lacombe saying, so you agree with me?
Well, I'm not saying necessarily next season.
Okay. Because you're going down the road, Tim goes.
He says, and I'm fine going down that road.
Tim's like, there's stuff in place here that isn't completely obvious.
Right. I agree.
And I was up there the other night talking about the lack of defense in whatever game it was. It was atrocious. And he's like, when you make a meeting optional just to turn it into the workplace, don't 80 or 90% of the people not show up? It was optional. He says, well, they're trying to lose, and defense becomes optional. You think guys are really going to lay it on the line? Now, they have a couple of dreadful performances, and the coaches make a bigger issue of it. And we see Bryce Sensabaugh, who is not the best defender on the team and is not the second best defender, is not the third best, but he gave up his body and got run over and took a charge.
And before we go to break, let me say, in my work world, for me, nothing was ever optional.
And that's why you're the 10 or 20%.
Nothing.
But have you ever been to meetings that you went to, even though it wasn't convenient? And don't lie, because I know the answer to this question. And then you look up and you're like, wait, so-and-so isn't here.
Yeah,
so-and-so isn't there.
We had a teams meeting and some of us had already known, I'd already known, to tell us about Hans leaving. You and I were on the call. Do you know anybody who wasn't, Yak?
Yeah, certain.
I'm just saying. Hey. Yeah, I'm just saying. Yeah.
Sniggledorf.
Quote unquote, our leader.
Oh, now it's quote unquote. Okay.
Yeah, it is quote unquote. Depends on what's useful in the moment, Yak.
You and me, we were there.
We were there.
Yeah.
Bright and early.
No, I'm not going to lie. I did think we were getting punked originally, but that's a story for another day.
What do you mean we're getting punked?
When they're like, hey, Hans Olsen is leaving. I thought it was just a punchline to kind of open the
did?
meeting.
Oh.
I'm not going to lie.
You were waiting for the joke?
Yeah.
Oh, wait, they're serious.
And nobody's actually laughing. Oh, wait. Anyways.
Now, he didn't need to be there because I already told him.
Well, you should have told me. Come on now.
Well, I was told not to tell.
So I'm
going to tell one person.
But this dude's a steel trap.
Fair enough. That's a good point.
I trust him with my life when it comes to that.
No, I agree with you on that.
Thanks to my grandmother for teaching me a lesson when I was 4. DJ and PK, it's 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
You've been listening to The Zone for decades. Yes! But now you can watch the guys break down your favorite teams.
Some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
Catch the video stream of DJ and PK, Jake and Ben, Hanson, Scotty, and JJ and Alex right now at KSLSports.com or by searching KSL Sports on YouTube. Utah's best sports radio is on air, online, and on the KSL Sports app. This is 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. And now, your Rocky Mountain Chevy dealer's strong play of the weekend.
Tony can move it in both directions. Not much curve in that one. Hey! Forget getting the birdie. Give him the eagle.
There is Tony Finau with the ace at Torrey Pines. That is the Chevy Strong play of the game. Know it this afternoon after 3 o'clock. JJ and Alex will hook you up, and you can win fabulous free stuff. What?
The way you said, hook you up. I was thinking of something else. I'd say hook you up.
Hook you up. You're always saying, punch it up. Let's go.
I know. But
give some energy.
The way you said it.
You put a question up on Facebook, PK. How did Egor Dёmin turn into a great shooter once he left BYU and got to the NBA?
Yeah, he was 0 for 4 last night, but the whole team sucked. But yeah, man, he's having a great rookie season.
It's not just the overall numbers. You got to like the way they're trending. He shoots the ball better every month. The 2-point percentage is really kind of on the low side, but then when you look, it's like, okay, it's getting better. I wouldn't expect him to have problems finishing at the rim or finishing in the paint.
He threw down a big dunk the other night. It was unfortunate that the Cougars had to be out of town. The Kevin Young and all the guys couldn't get up to see him.
Yeah.
And just, it's so crazy, man, because you don't really know for sure. You spend all this time researching, studying, doing everything possible to get in the position to make the best draft pick when it's your turn, and then you're not sure.
You're
right?
never sure.
And that was somewhat of a controversial pick, although, again, Travis Hansen talked to him before the draft. He's going top 10. You sure? He's going top 10.
Well, he went 8.
And he went top 10.
Yeah, and he's lived up to that. For the season, he's shooting 39.5% from 3, which is really good. 40% from the floor, that raises some eyebrows. That's too low. And 85.5% from the line, which is really good. But then when you dig a little deeper and say, okay, how's he adapting to the league and getting better? Well, in the month of January, 44% from the floor, 47 from 3, and 82 from the line. His field goal percentage has trended up each of the last 3 months. His November, December, January, you can see the arc. From the three-point line, it's improving 33 to 38 to 47%. It's the free throws dropped off in the last month.
But baby. He still looks 15.
He does look like he's 15.
With that little haircut and that he has. And
he's 19, turned 20 in a month.
Wide-eyed. So it looks like you're drafting 8th. You said they took him. Mm-hmm. That looks like it's a good pick.
Right. And they're getting a good player.
Yeah.
And watching BYU Kansas, they were talking about it, and then I read something about it right after that, how NBA scouts are like, man, if you're top 10 in this draft, you're going to get a good player. Now, there's generational talent if you get lucky and you're at the top.
Maybe.
Okay. They believe there's generational talent.
I don't think there's a Cooper flag in this draft. Now, there might end up being, when I say that.
But there's not a lock in the way Cooper was a lock.
Right.
You could miss with AJ or Darren Peterson. There's better odds of missing with them than there was with Cooper.
Yes. Now, they could be good players, but you could have had the opportunity to draft somebody else who's a star.
Yeah.
Those guys, they're going to be in a league. There's no question. To what degree? I did, and I think you did too. We all felt flag was he was going to be the ultra big flag.
He's going to be a 10-time All-Star.
Yes.
Don't look at him.
If
he's not paying attention, he missed it.
Oh, I was paying attention. I had to get to the other page to get it.
Talked right over it. What'd you say?
He didn't deserve
retail places to get the ultra big flag. To call the ultra big flag.
See, now Cooper flag will have 3 things. He'll have O, he'll have D, and he'll have the L. He's not missing the L.
Okay.
Because you miss the L, it changes everything.
Yeah.
And the Mavericks are getting a lot of L's this year.
They are.
But we all figured that he would be a player. And, gosh, he scored 49 the other day, right? I'm not totally sure
that these guys are going to go in and score 49 as a rookie. And no guarantee they'll be a 10 or 12-time All-Star. Whereas with Cooper Flag, only injury is going to separate him from that. Although these guys may well do it.
Yes.
And they may end up, and their ceiling, because all these guys' ceiling is kind of unknown. I mean, who's to say one of these guys won't be the number 1 team on a championship team more often than he's the number 1 guy on a championship team?
And that very well could happen.
Yeah.
And I would take my chances.
But what you're referencing is they always talk about what's the floor and what's the ceiling.
Yeah.
Cooper Flag, his floor is so high. So high. There's very little gamble with that guy.
And it looks like the way the system is now with every team tanking as much as it is, that
that's just 20% of the league.
You're going to go to a team that's going to allow you the opportunity to shoot the ball a whole bunch.
Yeah, the one exception
OKC.
I was going to say Indiana, just because with an injury, you probably won't be the guy in Indiana. Probably be the second guy, but.
Yeah, but being the second guy, you still
there'll still be plenty of minutes,
you won't be
shots.
saying there's a lot of shooters, not enough shots to go around.
You're right about Oklahoma City if they were to get a high pick, and they've got multiple things working here this year, and then multiple things working next year. Not with the Jazz next year, but they've got all these picks and pick swaps out. So who knows?
And the Hawks have the Pelicans, but I still think if he went there, if AJ or Peterson go there, they're going to get plenty of opportunities. Yeah. Johnson kid's emerging over there for the Hawks, but there's still opportunities there. So you can get in a situation like Donovan Mitchell where he had the ball and he was shooting right from the start and allowed him, because if you're going to a great team, you may get bogged down by that. But I don't think that's going to be the case for the next several years with all these teams tanking and being so pathetically poor, which the system demands that they do. And even though I'm not as sure about Flag, I'm as sure as we were with Flag, I want the opportunity to find out. I want the Jazz to have the opportunity to find out.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, that's for a night in May, and we'll wait for the draft lottery. Still 3 months away. DJ and PK, when we come back, the Cougars. Why so many bad first halves? The second half rallies are great, but do they have to be in that big a hole at halftime? We'll get to that next. Stay with us. DJ and PK, it's 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. The game of the weekend, 2 ranked teams, Fog Allen Fieldhouse, ESPN. Big crowd, they always have a sellout crowd.
What a crowd! I'll tell you, what a crowd!
But an energetic crowd for game number 1,000 in Fog Allen Fieldhouse. And Karl Malone used to have the playoff quote, "We got to weather the storm," knowing that a playoff game. Yes, weather the storm. And the BYU did not weather the storm. The boat got swamped there in the first half.
Well, what a crowd! BYU, they were bad last week. They'll be good this week, though. I tell you, what a crowd!
You're killing me, Smalls. 53-33 at the half. Did you feel like it was over? Down 20 at the break.
BYU, they weren't getting no respect at that point, I tell you.
They were not getting any respect.
But the second half...
Nor had they earned any respect. Did you feel like it was a shots go in game and it can be dismissed, or because it's part of a pattern? Because you love to go to shots go in, and I love to dismiss it. And the beautiful thing about that is, there's a little bit of truth on both sides. And I really thought that was a shots went in.
Well, the Big 12's a make or miss league.
I don't think that was debatable watching that game.
Cliche central right now.
Hey, they had a hand in Darren Peterson's face, and it did not matter. That guy, DP was showing, this is why I need to be the number 1 pick in the draft, kids. And it was really no argument.
Play the second half, pay me more.
Maybe there's some of that going on. We were just talking first half. The second half, that was a little shocking. I thought they did a good job. They keep taking shots. I'm like, he's still over there with cramps. He played 3 minutes.
Well, as good as he was, and he was phenomenal,
yeah,
like the Tiller kid. Those are the kids.
Yeah, I know.
You can live, unless somebody goes for 50, you can live with that. The Jazz got beat by Terrence Mann. You can't live with that.
Right.
So Peterson, great. Good for him.
He has all the hype. Tiller is also a freshman, and he had a massive game.
Yeah.
21 points, 7 rebounds, really efficient.
It was Tiller the killer.
Yeah.
And that's what bothered me. And a couple other guys.
Council.
Yeah, Craig Council.
Not Craig Council. Melvin Council Jr., who's on his 3rd team in 3 years. This is the new college basketball.
Mm-hmm.
And he bounces around, but he had a really good game.
Well, the guards are experienced, but not at Kansas.
15 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists, and only 1 turnover. That's just an outstanding game for him.
It is, yeah. I think that's where BYU has a little bit of trouble, because they got Kennard Davis against Arizona, but it's been a while since somebody rose up and played better than what he's playing, what he's capable of playing. They don't have that.
And he was 1 of 6 shooting in 14 minutes.
Yeah.
They mixed it up. They tried different guys. Nobody really did anything.
It's 3 and you always hear 3 and D. Here it's 3 and no O. And Keita can get a few putbacks, but I mean, I'm not going to criticize him whatsoever because
he gave him 9 though. That's what I was talking about a week or two ago.
He lays it out on the line every game.
But he does need to have the mindset of get ahead of, outrun your guy on the break, get the offensive rebound put back, make yourself available for the alley-oops and all that. And he did. He had 9 points, 7
think
boards.
He's playing at the level he's capable of playing.
I agree. That was.
But you're going to need the other guys. But the first half was so weird because AJ didn't take a shot until under 12 minutes. They'd already had 2 media timeouts because they go every 4 minutes. And he hadn't taken a shot. Now, I want to say, well, good on you for not forcing it, but you didn't take any shots. And so,
and their whole plan was.
And against Arizona, it looked like he was forcing it.
They're going to swarm him and take away his opportunities and make him make tough shots and make somebody else beat you.
Well, then BYU needs to get him in position to take those shots.
Agreed.
Run 5 picks. Do whatever you got to do.
And if they're going to, whatever you call it, whether it's whether a team comes at you with a zone and 2 guys cheat towards him, or whether it's man every time he goes off a pick, that guy doubles, whether it's purely a whatever, somebody's got to be open. If the floor is spaced right, somebody has to be open. Now, if they don't have a 5th guy who can make the shot, now the other team gets to play 5-on-4 and not worry about that guy. And it's not Keita, because Keita will go to the rim and dunk, so you got to account for him. But whether it's Davis,
well, then send Davis or Boscovich.
Ahmed, Boscovich, Costa, yeah. I mean, just
send those guys to the rim.
Those 5 guys combined to play. It looks like 66 minutes and score 4 points, 5 points. Yeah, 5 points out of 5 guys in 66 minutes. That's not good. That's not going to work.
It looks like the reality is from the 3, they need the starting point is 60 points from among them.
The one thing I did think was that they got 82 points, and that needs to be enough to win the game. As much as you want to get these other guys involved, and you do. If I told you Kansas was going to score 90 points, you'd have said Kansas is going to win the game.
Mm-hmm.
They scored 90 points. So as much as we can, and they do need more offensive productivity. And, man, if they found a way to win 92-90, we wouldn't even be talking about this. But the odds are you're not going to do that. You might, but the odds are you aren't.
Especially on the road.
Right. So how do you stop Kansas from shooting 57% and 50% from 3? It's some of those shots in the first half, man, I was thinking that is great defense, and then the thing went in.
Yeah, and I agree with you. And tonight they play Texas Tech in Lubbock, and they're going to shoot 27% or something.
It's going to be harder, especially because didn't Tech drop a home game? I think they did.
I thought it was UCF, and I thought it was there.
Oh, maybe it was at UCF. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, Tech coming off a loss, amped up at home.
And it's Monday. It's their time to shine in terms of the college basketball sort of has Mondays.
Yeah, Monday's a big night. They put big games on Monday night, and the NBA doesn't.
They have Monday night and Saturday day.
Yes. Because the NBA is programming Thursday night, Saturday night, and Sunday night really hard.
Right.
And Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday as well, but it seems like they got this new TV deal, but it looks like that's where the marquee games are going.
Yeah, and so this is like a Monday Night Football for these kids.
Yeah.
In terms of
it's the biggest stage they're going to get.
Yeah, until the tournament.
Until the tourney.
Yeah, and so I'm interested and I plan on watching the entire game to see what it looks like there. But the Cougs, they're 5-3. But the great thing about it is they're 5-3, so they haven't even reached the halfway point, and we're like, what's wrong? What's wrong with these guys? Why are you doing what you're doing?
Well, that's because of the money and the hype.
Well, expectations.
The expectations are massive, and
they're not a significant part of that.
They're not meeting the expectations.
And you're only getting AJ for another 7-8 weeks.
AJ and Saunders, they're going to go. So the team's going to have to be rebuilt. Now, maybe it'll have to be rebuilt more than that. As you said earlier this morning, you can look at a guy's class, but that doesn't mean he's going to be here next year. There's just no guarantees.
Right.
It's the Wild West, and every year's a new year. And I'm not giving up on this one yet. Obviously, the last 2 weeks have looked bad because they lost 3 out of 4. But they had a bad stretch last year, and they were able to figure it out.
They've looked bad, though.
They've looked bad in first halves. And I don't know if that's some combination of it's easy to say a team, isn't prepared, but then that doesn't explain halftime adjustments or whatever, and they come flying out in the second half. I wonder how much of that is urgency. I wonder how much of this goes back to what Steve Cleveland told you a long time ago. I want to have a bench so there's competition for minutes. They're asking guys to play 30, 35, 36, 38 minutes if necessary. And so human nature, you're going to pace yourself a little bit. But if the other team has 7, 8, 9 guys that can play, and they're scrapping for minutes, and the first guy's out there is like, well, I got to bring it right away because I know Rick Majerus over there has the quick hook, and he'll have that other guy in, and I want to play. And they also know that no matter how well they play, they're only going to play 25, 27 minutes. Maybe they get to bring it in a way that everybody else, you don't get to bring it when you know you're playing 35 minutes. I'm trying to figure out why the heck this is happening. It seems like we should talk to Riley about it. There's got to be something psychological about it. It doesn't make sense to me that it's like preparation. Because if you're not that well prepared, you wouldn't. It doesn't make sense to me that you would adjust that well in the second half and have these rallies.
I also think that the other teams now, they know about DeBonsa, they know about Saunders, they know about Rob, and so they're jacked.
Yes.
You're getting their best shot.
100%. But I feel at this point, Arizona and Houston are getting everybody's best shot. Houston's been really good for a while now. So, I mean, that is in basketball, that's a very strong brand.
I think it was Arizona Monday night last week. Mm-hmm. This is a chance to go national.
But they're 22-0. I mean, at some point, are they getting everybody's best shot?
Yeah. But I think they were a little more hyped.
Arizona was hyped for BYU, yes.
I think they were hyped for Monday night, 18,000, 19,000 people. Who is on Arizona individually is getting the love of these players?
No, they're not. I mean, DeBonsa and they did a good job of documenting that. I mean, of course, they're going to. It helps hype the game. And these guys are expected to go 1-2.
Yeah.
Maybe something will happen and one of them will slip to third, but it just doesn't look like it.
Don't sleep on Boozer.
I know. And he'd be the one, you would think.
And then the Carolinas got the Caleb kid who's getting run, but Arizona's more of a team. And so
22-0 puts a bullseye on you, even if you don't have one of the top 4 picks in the draft.
I think you need to start matching intensity.
Yeah.
You need to figure out a way. You got to be careful because basketball is a skill sport and it's not about football, all emotion. I'll run through a wall. I'll come out in warm-ups with no shirt on when it's snowing and blah, blah, blah.
You need intensity at defensive end, and then you got to be able to turn it off at the offensive end and play 3/4 speed. Because the offensive end, it's the change of speed that gets everybody. You watch the best players, whoever, you go watch a retired guy on YouTube or watch whatever All-Stars playing tonight. They're not beating you. It's the change of speed that'll get you. The Jokic is not out there running around like crazy, but he's dominating.
And KY's got to figure out ways to get guys going early.
Yeah.
And get their confidence level up. The great thing about it is they know they can do it, and they still have, 10 conference games to go.
4 ranked opponents.
And you got,
plus more in the conference tournament.
It's going to look a little empty if you only beat the ASUs and Utahs and K-States of the world. You need to beat some ranked teams.
Texas Tech.
And you've got those teams coming up. Yeah,
and they're both coming in.
Well,
so is Iowa State. And they've obviously got to go to Arizona.
And, on the 2 weeks from Wednesday, I think it is. And KY said this on Saturday night. He said, this is the blessing and curse of the league. The curse and the blessing is you got a big game. Oh, my gosh, you got a big game. But the blessing is if you lost, you got an opportunity to get it right back. And they'll have it. And to me, in conference play, any road win is a great win. I don't care who it's against. You look at what they did against Utah. Utah takes them down to the wire at the Huntsman Center. They blow them out at the Marriott Center. Oklahoma State, I watched that Utah game. Mm-hmm. They're at least halfway decent, and you're playing there, right? That game's at Oklahoma State.
It is, Wednesday.
So I don't care that they're not ranked. I don't care that
BYU needs a win at this point. Good grief. It can't
Eddie
be 4 out of 5.
Sutton's no longer coaching. They don't have
Eddie Sutton.
Henry. He was a prominent coach.
He was.
When they brought Oklahoma State in here to play
Eddie Sutton was a big deal.
The Cougars at the Marriott Center, that place was packed.
Were you about to go Hank Iba?
I was going to go, yeah. I mean, they've had some legendary players.
Hank is a legend, no doubt, yeah.
But I don't care. That's the point I'm making. Winning in Stillwater is a nice win. Winning on the road in college hoop, that's my specialty. I've been on the road with both Utah and BYU for years, and I know I don't care where you are, it's difficult. And getting that thing, get that win, then come back and see what you can do at Houston. We'll come back here a week from today, and you have the potential for all to be right in the world.
DJ and PK, when we come back, everything you missed in this show, no Jazz All-Stars. We will get to that coming up. And the Mammoth, man, what happened? No swag. They had it. 2 games later, it's gone. We'll get to that next. Stay with us.
Whirls around and down. 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone is your exclusive home of the Utah Jazz. And we want to send you to the Delta Center to see the Jazz in action. Listen every Tuesday for the Jazz Ticket Tuesday Sounder at 30 past the hour, every hour, all day long. And if you're caller number 12, you'll be on your way to an upcoming game.
Buy one, you'll get one free.
It's Jazz Ticket Tuesday, every Tuesday throughout the NBA season on your radio home for the Utah Jazz. 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Not enough. There's no doubt about it. I don't think we have any swagger right now. I don't think we have any kind of execution. And that league, if you feel sorry for yourself, everybody will step on your throat, and nobody will let you get back up. So there's no feel sorry for yourself. You're the best player of the team. You have an opportunity to be a difference maker, and you need to do it. You need to hone your confidence, and you need to hone your play. And we need to be better in those situations.
Slacker Radio Headlines brought to you by Trajan Wealth. Call Trajan Wealth today, your local trusted financial fiduciary. Call them at 801-210-6800 or visit their website at TrajanWealth.com. There's Andre Torney, the head coach of the Utah Mammoth. No swag, PK. They just had this hot streak. They lose back-to-back games. No swag, but he calls it like he sees it. Lay down the law, and you're at home against Vancouver with 42 points. That's the lowest total in the NHL by 7. If there's ever a game that screamed bounce back, it's time to get a win, it's tonight. So he goes straight to no excuses, no feeling sorry. Got to go get 2 points tonight. Got to be a win.
Well, I think so, yeah. I mean, it's a situation where you're at home. You had success in the last road trip. If swag is as easily disappearing as it is, then it should be as easily to be retained and grow from there.
It should reappear as quickly as it disappears.
Yeah, and we've been saying it all along. The team, in order to make the playoff, I think the number one factor is don't have big, long losing streaks or slumps.
Mm-hmm.
Certainly don't lose 7 out of 10, that type of thing. And you're coming up on a break here with the Olympics starting, so you want some momentum that you carry into that and carry out of that. And we're in the heart of seasons now. We're actually past it at the professional life. And so everything that you're trying to accomplish is right now.
They're sitting on 60 points right now through 55 games. They are tied for the last playoff spot in the West with the LA Kings, who have 60 points through 54 games. They have a game in hand. So there's no wiggle room here. There's 6 teams fighting for 3 playoff berths, and you're right in the middle of it.
They talked about when they first got here of playing meaningful games deep into the season. All right, you already did that. Now it's playing games that will get you into the playoff. So from that perspective, we're beyond playing meaningful games. We're now playing pre-playoff games that need to be won.
It's this one, and then one more, and then a big old long break. So there's no reason to save anything. You got Vancouver tonight, you got Detroit on Wednesday, and then you're off for 3 weeks for the Olympics.
Right. I'm going to Mexico during those 3 weeks, so I'm going to take advantage of it.
Back in the day, you did during the NBA All-Star break.
Not for 3 weeks.
No, you got one.
But I'm going for the hockey break.
You are not.
Yeah, I am.
No, you're not.
Okay, when you don't see me sitting here.
Okay. Big game for the Mammoth tonight. Listen to it right here on The Zone. As far as your Utah Jazz, a little defense, PK. Bryce Sensabaugh took a charge. They didn't give up very many points in the paint. They did give up a ton of turnovers, as we just heard in the last Jazz update. And it is 107-100. So that's awesome. Now do it again. And do it again. Toronto's a decent team, 4th in the East.
Yeah, the East is pretty weak.
The East is weak.
They had lost 2 in a row.
That's why I said decent, not very good.
But for them, I don't think
an improvement.
I don't think they made the postseason last year. So that's a nice jump up in the standings.
Yeah.
Easier to do on that side of the bracket. But
that was their 30th win, which matched their win total last year. They were talking about that during the broadcast.
Yeah. Okay. You played them close. You played them down the wire. They made a couple more plays than you, and I guess that's what we're going to have to look at. That's the best case, and you were without George, and so Collier gets off to a great start, 18 points, and then didn't score after that for a while. Markkanen has a huge game, as he's prone to do, and there you go. I said earlier, I like the fact that Hardy left Ace Bailey in. Let him play through struggles.
He did not shoot it well.
I don't care.
Kept competing, had a bunch of boards.
I think he had 10 or 11, right?
Yeah.
And, so he got his 5th foul, and they didn't send him to the bench. Why? Yeah. Let him. And I know it's all about, everything has to be earned, blah, blah, blah. I get all that. But I'm also torn with the only way he's going to get better, or the best way, is by playing through bad games, playing through mistakes. If he's not giving you effort, that's another story.
But 11 rebounds screams he's giving you effort.
Right. And
so he didn't shoot the ball well. I mean, he had a couple assists, he had 3 turnovers, he had a steal, he had a block. Just looking at that box score, it feels like he was involved in the game. Watching him in the game, it was a while before I thought he was having a poor shooting game. It wasn't really adding up because it wasn't like the other stuff all passed the eyeball test.
He needs to play. If you want to get to where you want to go, he's going to have to be good for you.
Yep.
And he might have to be great. And force-feed it as much as you can. That's why I'm surprised now that they keep running Williams out there and Hendricks is glued to the bench.
That is how it's sitting right now.
Yeah, he is sitting right now. And that makes me wonder, this has been sort of a wasted year for him. He's had 2 wasted years.
Well, the injury took away 1, and then this year he's just playing in fits and starts, and it hasn't looked that great when he's played. To your point about...
Now you're giving Cody is...
Yeah.
Cody, the bar was so low last year that anything he does is better, but he's not exactly wowing you.
No.
He's
gone from...
That reverse dunk he had 4 games ago was awesome, but I'm over that.
He's gone from completely outclassed to... kind of floats in the game. Sometimes he makes a play and stands out, but sometimes he's just going up and down the court.
Yeah, is he in the game?
Like
you have to ask yourself.
Yeah. He's not making the wow plays very often.
Yeah. As long as they keep giving Severino Malahulak 30 minutes, I'm okay.
He did get 30 last night.
I'm okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Did you say Severino Malahulak?
Yeah, he just makes stuff up. You just have to let it go, Yak.
I just love the different iterations.
I can't remember this guy's name.
Svi is easy to remember.
Mikhailuk.
But that's a nickname. I'm not at that level with that man yet.
You've had so many nicknames. Who do you not have a nickname for?
Severino Malahulak. I just told you. You teed that one up for me.
You're welcome.
I don't know him personally.
You always said you love a good straight man,
I'm not criticizing you.
Sounds like it.
I'm saying I'm happy when he's getting 30 minutes a game.
Taylor Hendricks got the big old DNP coach's decision. 0.
Right.
And Filipowski only played 9. Cody played 20. But Markkanen coming, when Markkanen sits, which I'm sure we're going to have more of, then that'll open up more time for all those guys.
Yeah, but even go look at the DNPs under Hendricks. It doesn't seem like he's getting it.
Well, it doesn't open up time for all of them. I don't think they want to play.
Can't open up 5 minutes?
Well, I don't think they want to those 3 guys. I don't think we're going to see a lot of time where 2 of those 3 are on the court together because they don't spread the floor.
Who cares?
Well, if you want to lose, there is that. But it makes it hard for the other guys to develop when all of a sudden they're playing 3 on 5.
I don't need Markkanen to develop.
Keyonte, Ace, Collier, Clay, anybody else is going to be in the game.
George doesn't need somebody on the team to develop. He's got the ball in his hand. Get out of his way.
Well, and he may be sitting a lot down the stretch, too. And it's quite convenient. I mean, if they'd had all their guys, maybe they'd have won.
Who do you think I'm going to Mexico with?
Keyonte George?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
He's popping.
Who will come as news to him? He'll be
He's
surprised.
got the cash.
He will be surprised by this development, but sure. Why hasn't anyone notified him? Did I sign off on this? I can guarantee you didn't.
The two of us will be down there. I'll work him out in the morning. We'll go play golf.
I'll work him out in the morning.
I can rebound for him.
Okay.
I'm old, but I can still catch the ball, throw a nice little bounce pass.
Nice. Very fundamental.
Yeah. I can say, that a kid, way to go, looking good, Keyonte.
Tim Duncan was the big fundamental. You'll be the old fundamental.
And then when he's done, I'll say, bring it in.
Bring it in.
Good job, man.
Take it easy.
Nice one.
Now we're going to the beach.
Yeah, go get cleaned up. We'll go get some tacos.
Pool day or beach day? They're only like 50 yards apart, so it doesn't really
bounce
matter.
Back and forth. Go in a hot tub?
No All-Stars for the Utah Jazz. We both write that off to the fact that they're 20 games under 500. Teams that are 20 games under 500 don't get All-Stars.
They do not.
You know who gets All-Stars? The top 10 in the West.
Top 10 in the West. If you have a top 10 team in the West, wow.
Bottom 5 in the West, nothing. You'll get nothing, and you'll like it.
Is Portland in the top 10?
Portland is 10th.
Oh.
Just barely slid in.
Yeah.
Nobody got 3. That was the other thing I noticed. And actually, the Clippers are 9th, and they don't have anybody. So the All-Stars went to the top 8.
I figured Leonard was going to tell them no anyway.
We're waiting to see if he goes, if there's an injury, if someone drops out
They
here.
may go Harden.
Yeah, either one of those guys. I mean, Kawhi's been on fire. I would think he'd be the pick first, but
the most important thing is the Jazz are approaching players with all-star caliber play.
Jamal Murray will be making his first All-Star appearance, which seems like that's 4 or 5 years too late. He's been All-Star caliber for a long time. Don't worry about whether you get picked or not. Play at that level, especially in the playoffs. Win a championship like Jamal Murray did, even without being an All-Star. In Denver, overlooked, snubbed. Not that it's a small market, because it's not, but it's not a glamour NBA destination, and they were taking the Joker.
Well, it's smaller.
But why not take 2?
Yeah, they call Phoenix. It's not a big market. I mean, why not? It'd take you 2 hours to go from one end to the other. That's big enough.
It is big enough.
Yeah. You can, and the great thing about
Suns got Booker in, right? That's their guy.
Yeah, and he's deserving, obviously. Yeah. You could argue that Brooks deserved some consideration.
Yeah, nobody got 3. Even OKC only got 2.
Well, Williams has been out a bunch.
Yes.
He didn't start the season way late.
Yeah.
Cody's older brother. So I think that's why. There's not enough GPs there for him. And then, when you come back, you normally don't come back at peak performance. It takes a little bit. Yeah. So I understand that.
Well, we'll see if Markkanen gets in as a replacement. If they have enough of they need 8 guys for the foreign team, right? And Giannis is going to have to be replaced.
I don't even know the format. What's the format?
Apparently, there's 3 teams of 8 now, and 2 of them are U.S. teams, and one's going to be international players. Although there's a bunch of international players, so I don't know that they're going to be that short. I mean, Murray's Canadian, right? SGA.
Yeah, but that's weak.
I get it, but I think they're still going to play in the international team. They're not going to play in the U.S. team.
It's like the baseball classic. I saw the Diamondbacks got a kid, Alec Thomas, plays center field for him. Mm-hmm. Nice glove, kind of weak bat. He's going to play for Mexico.
Grandparent?
Girlfriend.
Girlfriend.
Well, it just seemed like they just make it up.
He has tacos, chips, and guacamole for dinner Saturday. Play for Mexico.
He's playing in a border state.
Okay, fine.
So, I mean, they extend that to
grandparents. I think is usually where it goes. If you have a grandparent for that country and these international things, it doesn't.
Oh, sweet! I can play for Ireland.
Yeah, seriously. Isn't that how Mike Piazza ended up playing for Italy? You see, basketball, soccer, baseball, I don't know what else, but at least those three. You see this stuff all the time.
That,
I don't know about hockey.
His relatives made the Italian baseball leaders an offer they couldn't refuse.
Okay.
Here's the deal.
Hadn't had a Godfather reference in a while, so he slides that one in.
Either he's in that lineup or your brains will be on that lineup.
World Baseball Classic is coming up. Wow.
You know the lineup card?
I do. I know exactly what you mean. Yeah, I got it.
They are allowing the guys who have like grandparents who were born in different countries to have.
That's where it tends to go.
Yeah.
Is the grandparents. They don't let you in for the great-grandparents.
They would have had this baseball classic like when I was a teenager in my 20s. I would have been, do I want Italy? Do I want Ireland?
That'd been a tough call.
Yeah. I could have been a butt slapper for either of those teams.
Shohei Ohtani will not pitch for Japan in the World Baseball Classic. He will play as a designated hitter, and they will protect him for the Major League season. Really not surprising when you think about it, given his arm injuries, and we'll see how much the Dodgers pitch him and how much they save him for the postseason.
Is he really that big of a deal as a pitcher?
I think it depends.
They pitch him in any high-leverage situations?
I think it depends on how much pitching they have. I mean, they had a lot of injuries last year. So, yeah, I have to go look at his postseason stats. But, yeah, they won a 7-game series. He pitched in it. Unless I'm completely blanking out on it.
I'm talking about the highest levels. No,
he's their best bat.
There.
You're right, yeah, he's their best bat. He's not their best arm. But if you need 3 starters, depending on what they've got, he can be one of your top 3 starters. And then the way they go through pitchers and bullpen games and bringing him in for 2 or 3 innings in one of those games.
I get it. It's 162, but
yeah.
I would continue to lay off that.
Because he is so awesome at the plate.
Yeah.
Don't give that up.
Right.
That's the decision that got made with Babe Ruth 100 years ago, so here we are again, and it looks the same way. All right. Anything else, PK? I think Justin Rose. 45-year-old Justin Rose, 23 under, lapping the field, breaking Tiger Woods' record at Torrey Pines. He was awesome.
LaJolla looked beautiful this weekend.
Coming out of the Utah State basketball game on Saturday, and they had the drone flying off the cliffs looking back at the course.
You went to the game?
No, on TV. I was watching on CBS.
You were coming out.
No. On CBS, they finished the broadcast from the Spectrum, and they went to the golf, and they opened up pretty quickly in the first minute or two.
Get to it, yeah.
Yeah, they had the blimp area, but then they had this drone flying like 100 yards offshore, shooting the cliffs and the golf course, and there
I know what
was
you're talking about.
not a cloud in the sky.
No.
The fog that can sometimes be there was all burned off.
I was there a week ago today.
It was glorious.
It was glorious.
Yeah. And Jim Nantz was saying, if this doesn't look real, if you're freezing in the Northeast, well, it doesn't look real when you're here either.
Yeah, now you know my life when I was a kid. I was tortured.
I did think about that. I thought about you watching the Rose Bowl. I did when I was watching it. I'm like, yeah, there you go. Yeah. I literally rewound it and watched it a second time. Yeah. Like, look at that. That is awesome. All right, DJ and PK, when we come back, your feedback, and something we talked about for about 3 minutes is getting a lot of feedback, dominating the feedback conversation. People are going down memory lane with good reason. We'll get to that next. Stay with us. PK, we talked for a few minutes about the original Jazz Bear. Jon Absey passed away over the weekend. Pancreatic cancer, way too early. Our condolences, obviously, to his family, his wife, 3 kids, at least 2 of the daughters are married. Maybe they all are. Grandkid now, and just way too early. A guy who provided a lot of entertainment and a lot of memory to a lot of sports fans here. A lot of great memories. I threw it up on Twitter. What are your favorite memories of the original Jazz Bear? As a kid, watching Bear slide down me in the lower bowl. As an adult, Bear dropping his birthday cake from the upper bowl. Nice.
Bear droppings, huh?
There it is. When I was 12, Derek says, I got to shoot free throws on the Delta Center floor with the Jazz Bear at a John Stockton Junior Jazz player meet and greet.
Oh, nice.
That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Herb says, the sled down the stairs at the Delta Center, that was a classic. Tyson says snowboarding down the stairs and over a ramp. He was Cosmo before the Cosmo we have now. Definitely ahead of his time with the stunts he did. And I have to say, he took great pride in those. And he was complaining to me once about Jazz management trying to rein him in. And this is when he'd been doing it for like 20 years. I'm like, you're not 31 anymore there, big guy. They would rather not have you impaled in front of, 19/9/11.
Yeah, but I think that was his adrenaline.
It was his adrenaline. He wanted it.
His purpose. Yeah. And he, as I said earlier, this guy was an incredible athlete, just as buff as can be. You'd look at him when you just saw him in regular street clothes, you think, ooh, I don't want to mess with him.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and the strength he possessed to climb baskets, and we did it in Mexico, and we're everybody like the workers are like, look at this animal or whatever's inside there, and you've got to be. He was a weightlifter. He was a gymnast.
Yep.
He was an artist. I mean, he had it all when it came to that. It was really just amazing, the stuff that he could pull off and the strength that he had to do it and the coordination to do it. And just, I've never seen anything like it, actually. And do it in a Bear uniform, no less.
Do it in a Bear uniform.
Yeah.
The bike down the stairs. Like the sled was at least, on the bike.
Yeah, but that thing could go jamming into seats or something.
100%. But the bike, it just seemed like it was even riskier.
Well, potentially the crash could be worse, I guess. But that was it. There was risk wasn't in his mindset.
As Rafe says, Absey was completely fearless. There are so many great memories to choose from. He's part of the old school Jazz that I don't think we'll ever match again. Right there with John, Carl, and Jerry.
Well, yeah, when you think of the good old days,
he's right in the middle of it.
You have to think of him included in, because ultimately pro sports and college now too, as I've been saying for years, is nothing more than entertainment. The sports is the venue and the avenue for entertainment, and he added to the list because everybody's got dancers and all that, and they add to it too if that's what you want. But he had a uniqueness about him that made him legendary.
He trained a bunch of the other ones. Went and did a story once. He had about, I don't know, at least 10, but probably 15 different mascots in town. And they did stuff in the summer. Mm-hmm. And, how they do different things and how they pull them off and how to make them safer. Not safe, but safer. David says the bike down the stairs, he always did it late, fourth quarter, timeout. The crowd would go crazy. Also, I remember him revving his Harley in the direction of Phil Jackson and the Bulls.
In the finals, yeah. That thing was loud as can be.
So loud. Phil had on the earplugs. Yeah.
Right, he'd come out on that thing. Yeah. And I don't know if they amplified the sound over the speakers, but it just was ear
so loud.
Piercing.
So loud.
Yeah.
Travis, I saw him driving on 2100 South on his chopper in full costume, head and all. Nobody believes me, but I saw it.
I believe I've seen it too. Didn't he show up some remotes that we were doing on that?
Yeah. And he saw me once. He was doing an appearance at the Gateway in the early days. There was still an open area there that they've since put some buildings in. And he came over. He's holding my kid, who was probably like 2.5, scared. My kid just started screaming when the bear walked up to him. So he backed off. But he's trying to be nice. I'll go be nice to your kid. Derek, where's the last one? Oh, here it is, Barry. Barry says, he generally cared about everyone, no matter what, who, or where. Miss you and love you, John. May you rest in peace, brother.
Well, he was there to entertain.
Yep.
He knew his role.
Yep. And he would do events anywhere, anytime, doing events all summer long.
And also the charity stuff, kids in hospitals and whatnot to brighten their day.
Non-stop.
Yeah.
Non-stop. What do you want me to do? He was always available.
Yeah, all this praise that we're giving him is something that comes naturally. There's no stretching here.
No.
It's what happened for many, many years.
DJ and PK, that is going to do it for us today. Jake and Ben are coming up next right after the break. Stay with us.